I ready to swing gavels? Yes, no, you listen. Not quite yet, sounds like. We good to start? Okay. Everyone ready? Rachel, can I ask if everyone's ready for me to? Okay. Good evening, and welcome to the regularly scheduled April meeting of the Bonsall Unified School District Board of Trustees. We'll begin the session with a roll call.
Isla Eknom here.
Eric Ortega here.
Rachel Dombrowski here.
Roger Murchat here.
Michael Gaddis here.
Larissa Anderson here. And if we can all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Prior to convening here in open session, the board met in closed session where we considered the appointment, employment, evaluation of performance, discipline, transfer, or dismissal of employees, Government Code 54957, discussed our position regarding collective bargaining with the Bonsall Teachers Association and the California School Employees Association, chapter number 703, in order to direct the superintendent as chief negotiator in the matter of BTA and CSEA contracts. We discussed the public employee performance evaluation per Government Code 54957 regarding the superintendent evaluation. And on a motion by Trustee Gaddis, seconded by Trustee Dombrowski, the governing board approved the stipulated expulsion of student number 41007166 based on the agreement signed by the parent / guardian and student. Findings of fact: the student admits to violation of the Education Code section 48900A2 as detailed in stipulated agreement. The student and the parent guardian waive the right to formal expulsion hearing and related due process rights. The actions taken include the student is expelled through December 31st, 2026, and the expulsion is effective immediately, and the student shall abide by the rehabilitation plan to be eligible for readmission upon authorization by the Board of Trustees on January 4th, 2027, and the vote was 5-0 for that. That brings us to the approval of the current agenda. Would like to note that we will be pulling item 9.7 and bring it back in another meeting. With that, is there a motion to approve the current agenda minus item 9.7?
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to the minutes of the board study session on March 9th, as well as the regular meeting of March 12th. Is there a motion to approve those sets of minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to our reports. Superintendent Dr. Gali. There we go. Good evening, esteemed board members, Mrs. McInerney, and our BUSD community. It is a pleasure to welcome you to our April board meeting. And as many of you know, returning from spring break is always a bit of a shock because we come back and we realize that we have not even 2 months left of school, which is pretty amazing, okay? And so tonight, what I want to do is reflect just a bit on the power of modeling and mentoring. And I think if you take a look at this picture, which I absolutely love, it is a great representation of modeling and mentoring in our district. Albert Schweitzer once said, "Example is not the main thing in influencing others, it is the only thing." And here we see Bonsall High School ambassadors inspiring Bonsall West Colts, getting them excited about their future. And I really do believe that one of the greatest gifts that we can give our students is not just instruction, but it's example. And across Bonsall Unified, we continue to see incredible examples of modeling and mentoring. We see our young people all the time, not only learning from what they're taught, but also imagining what is possible. And I think you're going to see that kind of echoing throughout all of the highlights that I'm about to share. And a little bit later in our report, for the examples that we're going to bring up for modeling and mentoring, you're going to definitely have a treat. So this starts, of course, with our larger purpose that grounds all of our work, which is our framework for the future. Isla, would you please read our vision and our mission for us?
Yes. Our BUSD vision is that all students in Bonsall Unified School District engage in rigorous and relevant learning experiences that inspire them to be productive community members and future-ready lifelong learners. Our mission is that we empower all students to thrive in a positive, safe, and supportive environment through high-quality education focused on the whole learner.
Thank you. And also we have our learner profile outcomes and we have our values there. And our vision and our mission, I just want to note, it calls on us to create rigorous and relevant learning experiences while also supporting the whole child. I think you're going to see that a lot in our principal reports tonight and some of the other presentations that you're going to hear, namely our Bonsall High School students who will be presenting in just a bit, okay? All of those are examples of our vision coming to life. Yes, in classrooms, but also through relationships, through opportunities, through experiences that we are providing for our students, okay? And I think a great example of this is that spirit of service and of example starts with our board members. I have to call out, of course, that we have our very own President Larissa Anderson named as the 2026 Woman of the Year by Assemblymember DeMaio, which I think calls for a huge round of applause. Talk about example. This is a well-deserved recognition. I felt that it fit really beautifully in with my theme. She models service, integrity, commitment to community in a way that our students and all adults can also learn from. We're really fortunate to have leaders in Bonsall Unified across the board who demonstrate what it means to serve with heart and purpose. Same spirit of service. You'll recognize another one of our board members here. This is at Antonio Gara Day, and this is a great picture just to show a wonderful moment between Trustee Eric Ortega, Assemblymember James Ramos, and our teacher Domingo Anguiano. And they are representing alongside the community and showing that leadership isn't just what happens in formal settings, it's also about showing up, about honoring history, about honoring culture, being present in the community, and that matters because our students are watching. And of course, one of the most direct ways that students learn from others through hearing real stories are things, well, I know our symposium has done a great job of bringing speakers in at the high school. We also just had our SMS Career Day, and we had such a wonderful showing of members from the community who came in to share their real life examples with the students. They got to hear from adults and professionals about their work, lessons they learned along the way, things that help students connect what they're doing now to the future. I had so much fun. I went and presented, and I had to, of course, share some of the thank you cards that I got. You can see some of them up there. They really made me smile. They reminded me of the importance of our work. One student thanked me, and if you can see what he said up there, he basically said that my job sounded fun, except the meetings, and I agree. He said, I don't like those, haha. I do like problem solving and making decisions, so this job might just be for me. But I will have to go to school for a while longer if I want this job, but I will take interest in this and look into this. So I thought, thank you, okay? And then another one said, thank you for giving us a great presentation. My favorite part was learning what you did on a daily basis. But now perhaps pursuing a career in education, absolutely wonderful. But my very favorite I didn't put up there, but I have to share with you. Thank you, Dr. Gali, for the wonderful presentation. Although I'm not interested in your job, it was very fascinating to learn about it. So there we go. Thank you very much. And I sincerely thank the community members who took their time, probably took most of their day coming to present to our students. And that's something else that really does matter. I also wanted to share that this month is, and this is a way that we're showing, valuing, and inspiring every child to make sure that they feel a sense of belonging in our district. April is Autism Awareness Month. And in this month, our schools, namely Bonsall Elementary, is doing a really fantastic job of this, creating meaningful opportunities for students to build understanding, empathy, and appreciation for the unique strengths that make each individual special. So at Bonsall Elementary, they shared this book. I highly suggest it. It's called Just Ask, talking about how everyone has their own superpowers, identifying personal strengths that students have, while also recognizing strengths of others. If you haven't read it, you can actually find a version online, a YouTube video, and you can just hear someone read it aloud to you. It's really wonderful. And I think this is another example just reflecting our commitment to ensuring that every student feels that they belong, and that message of honoring differences. We see that across the district. Creating inclusive spaces, it's also reflected in the work of what we do. And I needed to share another celebration. This is reflected in the work of some of our alumni. I was very excited to receive this message that 2 of our Bonsall High School alumni, Sophia Blount, I hope I said that right, and Christy Leong, are part of the founding team of something called Doodle Pirates. And their first project, it's a Kickstarter project right now, so if you're interested, please check it out. Their first project, called Sloth Club, is a reflective illustrated book that encourages people to move at their own pace. It's honoring different ways of thinking, finding strength in gentleness. Their work is creative, thoughtful, and deeply rooted in inclusion and human connection. It's so powerful when we see our alumni, our current students become that alumni, and our current students can see and be inspired by what their peers have gone out into the world to do. It's empathy, it's innovation, it's definitely purpose-driven work, so please check it out. Like I said, there's a Kickstarter there. You could take a look at it, okay? Now, I think this also is going to be reflected in some student-centered highlights that I wanted to share with you. I took this photo yesterday at Sullivan. I just love to see students actively engaged in hands-on observational learning. This is with their science curriculum. They were outdoors. They were observing things about the plants. This is a hook activity for a lesson that they were about to do. Reflects the kind of learning we want to see and continue expanding. It's active, relevant, connected to curiosity and problem solving. Our kids aren't just absorbing information, they're engaging with the world around them. It's really exciting to see. And this was fun. Yesterday and today we had our track and field events. Take a look at that high jump. You got it. Right? This was Bonsall Elementary yesterday, Bonsall West today. Our students are getting ready for the annual Tomlinson Games, and they were so excited and challenging themselves, showing resilience. Events like this are where you see a lot of mentoring naturally happening. On the sidelines here, which you see are Sullivan Middle School students who come back to volunteer for the event. They love doing it, and they get to support. Now they're the bigger kids, and they get to support, and they're helping with all of the events, and so excited. You see coaches, teammates, supportive adults, lots of ways that they're helping students stretch the things that they can do, and there's wonderful connection and belonging. This is extended into our community, so I'll just have a few fun pictures to share before we move into other recognitions. This is our Bonsall Community Engagement Initiative team. They continue to do impressive work across the district. Talk about mentoring. We have lots of different voices on that community engagement team, and they are finding all kinds of ways to partner with families and staff, providing lots of varied, wonderful opportunities. Partnerships with Bonsall Women's Club, and this is also a sponsorship from our community engagement team. This is an art project where our students are able to showcase their work, sell their work. A portion of the proceeds goes to the student, a portion goes to Bonsall Forward Initiative. Really innovative and wonderful, and here you see some staff members who are super excited to support. And I also want to share something that is a highlight for me, continues to be an important and meaningful part of my work, sitting and talking with kids and making sure that we are listening to them. On the left is a Superintendent Student Advisory Council meeting at Bonsall Elementary. On the right, I was over at Bonsall West. My next one tomorrow, I'll be working with 6th through 12th grade students and asking their opinions on some of these high-level decisions that are facing the board and us as leaders right now, but talking with students and giving them an opportunity to share some of their thoughts because they're really bright. and it's modeling for them how to be an engaged community member and effective communicator, okay? So I'll be coming to you next, Ms. Calabrese, all right? Okay, a few more announcements. In addition to it being Autism Awareness Month, April is the month of the military child. I'm wearing purple, as you can see. This month is, we celebrate Purple Up Day. It is officially April 15th, but schools are finding whatever works for them to celebrate the month of the military child. And I wanted everybody to make sure they put this on their calendar. Purple Star Award is a designation that all of our schools have received for their exceptional support for military-connected students and their families. We're very proud of that. Our schools do an excellent job of supporting, and we want to honor our military students and their families and also the schools for what they're doing to support them. So April 29th, we're just getting it in there in the month of the military child. April 29th, it will be at Bonsall West at 5 p.m. We highly encourage you to come. I hope everyone's planning to attend. A couple other opportunities for engagement that I wanted to share. We have the next of our town hall meetings on April 14th, right here at 5 p.m. This is for Trustee or President Larissa Anderson. It will be her town hall here on Tuesday, and on April 23rd, which we know is the same night as the Bonsall Elementary Open House, we're going to have Trustee Gaddis's town hall here in the community center, but we're going to make it at 6 p.m., which will be directly following the open house, so hopefully we can get some good attendance. We'll be spreading that word and making sure that those flyers are getting out there so that we can have hopefully a lot of people coming and sharing their ideas about what we're doing. Another important upcoming date, please save the date, May 6th from 5 to 7 p.m. is our annual Stages of Inspiration art show. This is the 4th annual. It's a collaboration with BUSD and Bonsall Women's Club. Tomorrow is the deadline for students to submit their artwork. So everybody tell the children in your lives in Bonsall Unified to submit their artwork by tomorrow. And then I really hope that we have a wonderful showing on May 6th. It is such a great community event, and we're fortunate to have a community that cares so much and so consistently in our students' learning. And one more. We have coming up, if you like to golf, and even if you don't like to golf, I golfed for the first time last year for this event. I did okay. I'm going to go back out there again May 16th at 1 p.m. There's information for how to register, but we'd really love to see an absolutely full event for this. All of the proceeds support Bonsall Athletics. You can sign up individually or as a team. It's $150 per player, but you get the green fees, cart, range access, box lunch, and it's really fun, okay? So those are some great opportunities for you all to get engaged. And I started by saying that you see examples of modeling and mentoring across our district. I want you to keep that in mind as you're listening to the recognitions that we're giving tonight, because they really are all superb examples of this in our district, and I hope our students are watching them and all that they do. So I'm going to call up Alan Williams for these recognitions.
Well, good evening, and we do have quite a few recognitions tonight, and I'm really pleased to share a number of people that are partnering with our organization plus our employees. But I wanted to start with exemplary community partners, and I'd like to call up Tina Fernandez and then also Tina Calabrese. Could you join me at the podium, please? So Vivian Banks Charter School in the district would like to extend its deepest gratitude and heartfelt recognition to the Paula Environmental Department for the incredible partnership and support they have provided to Vivian Banks Charter School throughout this school year. Their generosity, creativity, and commitment to environmental education have made a lasting impact on our students, staff, and school community. This year, PED has supported and enriched student learning through a wide variety of engaging hands-on assemblies and experiences, including waterology. I think that's the study of water, right? Good, all right, waterology, the traveling tide pools assembly, PED recycling races, a planting assembly, a bee kind, that's BEE kind to Pollinators Assembly and the school's first ever agricultural day, including a hands-on assembly with Wild Wonders. These meaningful opportunities brought science and environmental learning to life for our students in exciting and memorable ways. Through their efforts, our students have deepened their understanding of water conservation, recycling, agriculture, native plants, pollinators, and stewardship of the earth. In addition to sponsoring assemblies, the Paula Environmental Department has been an important partner in helping us grow and expand our school garden program. At Vivian Banks, their support with planning for additional garden space. They donated planters, water kits, drip systems, and future native plant and pollinator projects has helped strengthen our vision for creating a living classroom where students can connect with nature and learn through hands-on experiences. Man, they've done a lot. Their lessons build curiosity, environmental responsibility, cultural connection, and joy in learning. Because of their support, our students have had opportunities they will remember for years to come. On behalf of the students, staff, and families of Vivian Banks Charter School and the Bonsall Unified School District, thank you to the Paula Environmental Department for your outstanding partnership, your belief in our students, and your dedication to the Paula community. Your support has truly made the difference in the lives of students. Congratulations and thank you so much. We have this award here. Thank you so much. The Paula Environmental Department. So next up, I'd like to call Mr. Shaw and the esports team at Bonsall High School. So if all of them could join me at the podium, come on up. Oh, you're going to call them up? The teacher says, wait back there. Sorry. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. Okay. All right. Well, let's have all of you stand on each side of the podium here. And I want to tell you about the esports team, but I'd like Mr. Shaw maybe first to introduce the team members. So I'm going to let you do that.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Jeffrey Shaw. It's my first year at Bonsall High School. I teach math there, and I have most of these students are my math students as well as my esports. But yes, we have seven players on our League of Legends is the video game that we play, but there are about 6 or 7 video games that are competitive CIF, so you can actually letter in video games. Really, COVID kind of was the linchpin for a lot of it the last 5 or 6 years with that spurring it on. But we finished 6th in the state, not just in San Diego County or in Orange County, but 6th in the state. For the regular season, so we finished 8-1 was our record. We did lose in the first round of the playoffs. We lost to the number 2 team in the state, was out of Camarillo, like up by Ventura. And so it's really cool because we get to play online, and we've played teams from, I think, as far away as like Modesto, right? Didn't we play, or from... right, Modesto or somewhere up north, Sacramento area, something like that. So, yeah, it's been a ton of fun. We had a league in the fall, or a season in the fall, and then a season that went from January up until spring break, basically, and then playoffs started this week back after spring break. There are some other games as well that we play, Marvel Rivals and Super Smash Brothers, and there are a handful of others, but League of Legends, I call it 5-person chess. So essentially, there's a ton of math involved, which I really relate to. Game theory involved. My undergrad's in econ, so I love game theory. But there's a lot of technical, as these students will attribute to, the technical mouse and keyboard. But then the team atmosphere of playing like team chess together makes it a ton of fun. So I have a ton of fun. They listen to me pretty well for the most part. I think they have a ton of fun as well. We have... 7 students, as I said. So Ben is on track, so he's not here. Aaron is on baseball, so he's not here. We have Lucas, who lives in San Marcos, and he had an eye exam. So we have, but students have things to do. But here with me, we have Emmett, we have Max, we have Isaac, and he was actually the #1 ranked player in the entire state. We have Cody, G, did a phenomenal job. So I hope I didn't take too many minutes. Sorry about that, but it's been a ton of fun for me. Thank you.
No, you did just fine. And so we just really want to celebrate the students. You know, what we remember from the 80s and 90s, there was like a game over when you lost at the game. But I could tell you, this team, it's not game over. So they had a very successful season. We're very proud of your accomplishments, and they're already strategizing for next year. So I'm really glad that we have teachers at Bonsall High School, so many dedicated and focused teachers that go beyond the classroom to really lead students in these extracurricular opportunities. And they did so amazing, and we're so proud of you. Congratulations. We do have a plaque for you, and we would love to take a picture with you. So why don't we all gravitate this way with the superintendent? Oh, thank you. Yeah. Congratulations to the esports team of Bonsall High School. Well done. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done. Thank you. The League of Legends, right on. Well, that group is truly legendary. So what I'd like to shift to right now is the presentation of our Classified Employees of the Year. So each site goes through a process, and they select a site Classified Employee of the Year, and then we also select a Bonsall Unified School District Classified Employee of the Year. I was told that Josefina Gonzalez was not able to make it tonight, but let's give her a round of applause. And we have some flowers for her, and also we'll get that to her tomorrow. There was a family commitment that she could that made her not be able to attend tonight. But I do want to read a short narrative about Josefina and what she does. While she serves as our English learner paraprofessional, Josefina's impact reaches far beyond her role. She shows up every day with a genuine heart for all students, always ready to step in, lend a hand, and support wherever we need it. What makes Josefina so special is not just what she does, but how she does it. She goes above and beyond, often without being asked, to support students academically, behaviorally, and social-emotionally. She notices what students need and takes initiative to ensure they feel seen, supported, and cared for. Her strong work ethic is matched by her compassion. She builds meaningful connections with students, communicates effectively with staff, and is a trusted support for our SPED students. Whether during the school day or after school programs, Josefina gives her time and energy wholeheartedly. Josefina is someone our students can rely on, and our staff deeply appreciates. Her kindness, dedication, and quiet leadership make a lasting difference in our school community. She is truly an invaluable part of Sullivan Middle School and so deserving of the recognition. So one more applause for Josefina. And Josefina, hopefully you can see this on YouTube later, and just know that you're deeply appreciated. Thank you so much. Now the next person I would like to call up is Rosa Olmos. If you would come on up, Rosa. So I want to tell you a little bit about Rosa. She's outstanding, but let me make sure I hit some points here. Rosa has consistently been an outstanding employee in transportation. She is dedicated to her profession and is someone who can always be counted on in every aspect of the department's needs. When last-minute changes or obstacles arise, Rosa has always been flexible and more than willing to help out in any way she can. She understands the challenges of transportation and offers help without needing to be asked. That's so important when employees just step up. Folks like you, Rosa, we thank you so much. Additionally, she is kind and compassionate person, making her the best coworker anyone could ask for. Her supportive and caring nature creates a warm and loving environment for the students who are lucky enough to ride on her bus route daily. I don't know of many of us, we've probably been on family vacations where we've had a few kids in the back seat, and that seems like unmanageable at times. But if we could just envision what it means to sit in the chair guiding students throughout this area in this part of Bonsall with sometimes up to 50 or more students, and just be nice too, but also be super focused with everyone and keep a cheerful just kind of disposition. That's Rosa. Her calm daily presence is welcoming to those students who are having a tough day. Rosa, you are truly one of a kind, and everyone in transportation absolutely loves you, and the district is so pleased that you were named the District Office Classified Employee of the Year. Congratulations. Congratulations, Rosa. Next up, we have Brenda Sandoval, paraprofessional. I'm not certain I saw her come in. Okay, no. Okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Brenda. She's our paraprofessional from Bonsall High School, and there's a few things that I want you to know about her and why she's so important to BHS. Brenda has been a steady and compassionate presence in the Bonsall High School Mod Severe classroom, providing unwavering support to students in one of the most challenging and meaningful learning environments. Typically, students in this setting need a high level of support and care for meeting their most basic needs. And the school needs people like Brenda to serve these special angels who grace the BHS campus. Through ongoing change, Brenda has remained a constant force. She is someone our students and staff can always count on. She's reliable, knowledgeable, and always willing to step in whenever she is needed. What truly sets Brenda apart is her ability to build genuine, trusting relationships with students, creating a sense of connection and belonging for those who need it most. Her patience and care are evident in everything she does. Brenda approaches each day with heart, consistently meeting the needs of our most vulnerable students and helping them feel supported, valued, and capable. Brenda represents the very best of Bonsall High School. Her dedication, compassion, and commitment to our students make her truly deserving of this honor. And so once again, if we could give a big round of applause for Brenda Sandoval. Congratulations to her. All right, so I saw this gentleman come in, so I'm going to call him up, and Tina Calabrese, if you could join me again. Let's have up Dennis Trujillo. Dennis, please come on up to the podium. Congratulations. I'll let you stand there. So it's with great enthusiasm that Vivian Banks Charter School announced Mr. Dennis Trujillo, the ACES coach, we call him, as their Classified Employee of the Year. The district is also so excited about their selection and having the opportunity to recognize Dennis this evening. Thanks for being here, Dennis, with your family. Dennis is a deeply valued member of the school community and a proud Paula resident. He brings a strong sense of connection, care, and commitment to our students and families. He serves as a steady, positive role model who truly understands and values our students. Dennis consistently goes above and beyond. He takes initiative every day to support students and staff with professionalism, kindness, and a calm, dependable presence that our entire campus relies upon. You're exhibiting that right now. You're fantastic. One of the most meaningful ways Dennis impacts our students is through the recess and lunchtime sports he organizes and supervises. He creates a safe, fun, and inclusive environment where students can stay active, build friendships, develop teamwork skills, and feel encouraged. Students look forward to this time because they know that Mr. Dennis, as he's affectionately called, will be there making sure everyone can participate and have a great experience. I'm sure there's only a few times when kids argue over the rules or if someone's out or safe, right? Yeah, just a few. Most importantly, Dennis has earned the genuine trust and respect of our students at Vivian Banks through his patience, encouragement, and daily acts of support. He builds strong, positive relationships that make a lasting difference in their lives. Mr. Dennis Trujillo is an outstanding representative of Vivian Banks Charter School and truly deserves this award of being named the Classified Employee of the Year. A big round of applause for Dennis Trujillo. Thank you. Please get in the picture. Congratulations, Dennis. All right, next up, we'd like to call Mrs. Shauna Reed. Please join us at the front. All right, well, I'd like to introduce you to Mrs. Shauna Reed. She has been the, Mr. Camacho, why don't you stand up here too? She has been the heart and steady foundation of the before and after extended care program at Bonsall West Elementary School. Through her strong leadership and unwavering dedication, she has created a welcoming, organized, and nurturing environment where children feel safe, supported, and inspired to grow. Shauna's impact goes far beyond daily supervision. She has built a space where children develop academically, socially, and emotionally, learning respect for themselves, for others, and for their community. Safety is always her top priority, and her thoughtful structure ensures every child receives consistent, high-quality care. So if you could imagine that you're the first person that meets the kids when they come and they're getting dropped fairly early in the morning before school, and then you're also one of the first people they see after they've been through an entire school day. You've got to have the right person in place who's leading other staff members too to provide a high level of support and care, and Shauna has definitely done that. Her leadership is especially impressive during challenging situations and staffing turnover. There's just been a little bit of that, right, in extended care. Not because of Shauna, that's for sure. Just because the nature of that position, there is a lot of people that come in and leave. Shauna remains a calm and steady presence for both children, families, and staff. She maintains high professional standards and guides the program through change with resilience and grace. As the leader of Bonsall West Extended Care Program, Shauna has built trusting relationships with the families of Bonsall West, creating strong communication, a true sense of community that benefits the entire school. Shauna's dedicated service positively impacts everyone. She is truly the heart of the program. And Bonsall West is incredibly fortunate to have you as part of their school family. This recognition is well deserved. Let's congratulate Ms. Shauna Reed as the Bonsall West Classified Employee of the Year. Congratulations. Well done. There it is. Are they away from them? Yeah. Oh. Congratulations. All right. That brings us to our last recipient. And at this time, I'd like to call up Erica Howe, who's our occupational therapist at Bonsall Elementary School. Give a round of applause for Erica. Great. All right. Well, we've got two people standing alongside her, and there would be a whole school standing alongside of her if they were all here this evening because of the difference she's made at Bonsall Elementary School in the lives of students. It is with tremendous pride and heartfelt appreciation that we recognize Erica Howe as Bonsall Elementary School's Classified Employee of the Year, but also the district's Bonsall Unified School District's Classified Employee of the Year. Congratulations on both of those titles. Let me tell you a little bit about Erica. Erica serves as BES's occupational therapist, playing a vital role in helping students develop the skills they need to fully access their learning. Yet her impact reaches far beyond her caseload. She approaches every day with a whole child and whole school mindset. If a student needs help, she is there. If a teacher needs guidance or strategy, she steps in with practical, thoughtful solutions. One of Erica's greatest strengths is her collaborative spirit. She willingly shares her expertise with classroom teachers, even when students are not on her official caseload. This year, she volunteered her own time to train our transitional kindergarten team on developmentally appropriate handwriting instruction, strengthening Tier 1 support from the very start of the student's journey as a Bonsall Bear. Erica also organizes Bonsall L's annual Holiday Motor Lab, creating an inclusive hands-on experience for students with exceptional needs so they can build, monitor, and skills and enjoy the season in a way that meets them where they're at. Erica brings exceptional organization, clear communication, and professionalism to everything she does. She quickly assesses needs, designs targeted interventions, and monitors progress with precision and care. Equally impressive is her character. She is positive, calm, and solution-oriented. She balances high expectations with genuine empathy, helping both students and staff feel supported and capable. Beyond her professional expertise, Erica is simply a joy to work with, reports the staff at Bonsall Elementary. She uplifts others, celebrates every bit of progress, and strengthens the entire school culture through her kindness and integrity. Erica goes above and beyond every day, and every student feels supported working with her. We are so glad that you've been selected as the Bonsall Elementary School's Classified Employee of the Year and also Bonsall Unified. Congratulations to you. The light.
Thank you.
So at this time, we're going to have okay, let's take a picture, but we do have a video that we want to show as well. So let's take the picture first. Congratulations. Now we're going to ask that you find a seat, and let's check out this video of Erica Howe and her work at Bonsall Elementary School.
Bonsall Schools So Strong is the dedication of our classified
Let's start it from the
staff.
beginning,
Every
please.
day they support students in ways that one thing that makes our Bonsall schools so strong is the dedication of our classified staff. Every day they support students in ways that remove barriers to learning and ensure that each child has what they need to thrive. Erica Howe is a superb example of this work. Her professionalism, her care, her commitment, and her skill make a meaningful difference in the lives of Bonsall students every day.
What I really love about being an occupational therapist at Bonsall Elementary is helping kids with learning differences thrive every single day in the gen ed and in their classrooms.
Erica is one of the best coworkers I've ever had. She's incredibly caring. She recognizes the student's strengths and weaknesses, and she really tailors her therapy approach to what the student needs, even day to day.
One of my highlights as an occupational therapist at Bonsall Elementary was helping one of the students become an expert at the monkey bars. I noticed that at recess he was really interested in doing the monkey bars, and the staff were amazing with them, but they were, like carrying him, trying to like hold him up and guide him across the monkey bars. With the collaboration of the staff and the child's motivation to do this, he had become successful within a couple of months.
She's just very aware of what a student might need day to day that a teacher could implement. I've seen so many students grow tremendously after working with Erica over the last few years.
The team at Bonsall Elementary is really special, and whenever I have tried to create environments or programs where children can thrive, I always get amazing collaboration from the teachers. One of the reasons why I love Bonsall Elementary.
Erica has exceptional knowledge, skills, and abilities, and those things coupled with her really high work ethic and her great relationship skills make her an exceptional recipient of the Bonsall Unified Classified Employee of the Year.
All right, big round of applause. There is so many outstanding classified employees to choose each year. And so we're really pleased that we had a great representative of the fine work classified staff does in Bonsall Unified. And a special congratulations to Erica Howe for being the Bonsall Unified School District's Classified Employee of the Year. And also, just so you know, YouTube doesn't know how to spell, so I apologize for the captions. We'll make sure we get that corrected. All right, so I do want to remind folks we have time for pictures here in just a moment, but I'm going to turn this back over to Dr. Gully.
Okay, it's 6:55, if we can reconvene. I got it, 6:55. So, I did try. I gave blood today, so I am. Yes. I can start singing or something. That'll clear out the room.
And not your timid little gavel?
Ooh. Here.
No, you don't want my gavel. Everybody knows how I hit that.
Right.
See, it worked.
Almost. We're almost there. Okay. Where are we at? I think we're pretty settled. We have one board member will probably come right back in and join us. But let's start with our group reports. Do we have any of our parent organizations here? PTAs, PING, PTO, DLAC, Foundation? Okay. Bringing us to our labor reports. Bonsall Teachers Association, Ms. Ariana.
Okay, I'm going to let everybody get settled. Before I start today, I have some breaking news. This baseball just came from the Paula Field, where a certain first baseman had his first home run ever and the first home run for the Bonsall team. We were down 0-8. Sadly, we lost just moments ago 5-8, but it was a great effort, and the team is doing really, really well. And it was really special to have Danny Mencia was there because his daughter is playing on the softball team, and they had practice, and Danny Costa and Danny Mencia started the team, I'm going to say 4 years ago now. And we've already won our division, and we're starting off strong again this year. So it's very exciting to be a Legionnaire. So that's the breaking news. Now, as the Bonsall Teachers Association, there's something that I would really love the community and our board. I know that the board knows this, but also our community, that I really derive a lot of personal satisfaction, like meaning in my work with the union because of the special teachers that we have. Because especially as I work at the state level and the national level now, I get to meet a lot of union leaders and members, and every time it reaffirms that we have something very special going on here. We have people that go above and beyond, and our union has a policy that it's always about our kids. It's students first. We look at everything through the student's lens. Is it serving our students? That's one in everything we do. So there are two issues that I would like the board to know where we stand on in the community. First of all, the union has zero control over the student calendar. Zero. We have control to negotiate the employee side of the calendar. So it is linked because you can't really teach students if we're not there to show up to work. But as far as when is our early release day and things like that, when the calendar release starts, that is completely the district's domain. We have no say in it. So the proposed change from Friday early release to Thursday, I would like the board to know that it was 1 member for, 139 members against. That's where we're at. So we did not support that. We had to agree to it. We advised and we agreed. That is part of working together, okay? And that's a reality. It's not always going to break our way. But I want you to know that there's no misunderstanding. This was not because of our elementary teachers wanted it. This was certainly not from our high school wants this. We didn't want it at all. Now, the reason why I believe that the district was adamant about this change was because they value professional development, which is an important part of this process, okay? I don't believe that it's the most essential part of the process. I think it's an important part of the process. But the reality is that our professional development has not been great. There's been a lot of confusion. There's been a lot of trainings that were the wrong training, or trainings where somebody didn't show up for the training. The teachers are staring at screens for 2 hours. There's been speakers that we really, not the best. Now, this happens in every district, okay? It's like, how do you know how great something's going to be until you actually do it, right? But we have to have some kind of plan to improve it. If the district's making decisions based on this is a top priority, we don't want to waste our time. We are always behind the gun. Teachers never have enough time. So every minute that we're in a PD where it is no value or that could have been shared in an email is taking something away from our ability and taking something away for what we can do for the kids. Okay? It's slamming us. It's wearing us out. So what we asked for was a feedback loop where we could have a QR code at the end of every PD where the teachers could give honest feedback of, was this valuable? What was my one takeaway that I can use and implement? Or was this a complete waste of my time so that we cannot do this again? All right? So I think that that is somehow being implemented. I don't know if you guys, the principals, are implementing it. I think that I've heard back from members that sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But what I have not heard is that that feedback loop has never been shared with us again. And if you don't include all the members and tell them like, hey, this one, we got the feedback, this wasn't really your greatest thing, so maybe next year we're going to do this. That is a system that's working together and making our time valuable. And so starting tomorrow, I'm going to ask all of our principals to give the very last moment of every PD to our union site reps, and we're going to do our own survey, and we're going to share it with the leadership so that then we are all on the same page and we can open a discussion about what can really make this better. Because if the district is going to change our schedule because of the prioritization of PD, then we really want to be your partners in making that time worthwhile. Thank you.
Thank you. And I see Ms. Starkweather, are you here to speak on behalf of CSDA?
Can I approach the board members to give you something, please?
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Golly, and Ms. Gina. I hope everyone had a nice spring break and had a happy Easter and had the opportunity to spend time with their families. Tonight I'd like to speak regarding 2 items before you. the 2026 calendar and the 2026-27 school calendar, and the MOU between CSA and Bonsall Unified School District. First, regarding the 26-27 school calendar. I recently sent out a survey to our classified members asking for their input for the placement of Easter break. My goal was to ensure that our members had the opportunity to share their preferences and their voices heard. The feedback from our members was clear. Many would prefer that the Easter break be scheduled the week after Easter, with the Friday before Easter, Good Friday, as the day off. I also want to share this respectively, and I mean no disrespect to you, Mr. Ortega. If a regular community member had stood up here and asked the district to change the calendar because this is what the community preferred, would the board have voted to change it, or would their response have been, unfortunately, that's the way it is? However, because a board member who raised the concern, the calendar was changed. I believe this occurred around March of 2021 when the calendar was originally presented, and then it was approved in April 2021 for the upcoming school year. Additionally, ADA is very important to the district. We asked the district for the data comparing spring break the way it is currently versus how it was previously. With the calendar as it currently stands, spring break the week before Easter with Monday off after Easter, the district is seeing approximately a 1% decrease in ADA compared to what spring break was scheduled to the week after Easter with Good Friday off. I know 1% may not seem like a large amount, but in the grand scheme of things, ADA is funding that supports our school sites, staff, and students. Even a small percentage can make a meaningful difference. I share this information simply to ask that you consider the voices of our members and the impact of to the district as you make your decision tonight. The second I would like to speak about is the MOU to address the MOU between CSA and Bonsall Unified School District. The MOU provides CSA members with a floating holiday as a result of what occurred last year when April 6th was moved to November 10th and was not ratified by our membership. I want to express my appreciation to the district for working collaboratively with us to find a fair solution. Thank you. Additionally, we have already had our first negotiation meeting with the upcoming successor contract. I'm hopeful that we can continue to work collaboratively and get this wrapped up so that we can have a current contract in place. And what I provided you with was the survey that I didn't send out to our members. Yes, we have 104 members. I got 64. I sent it out 4 times. On that, you can see 65.6% want to have spring break the way it was previously. 26.6% want to have it the way it is currently. 6.3% would rather not even be attached to Easter. Have it be like the second week of April every year. And then 1.6% said no preference. So I just wanted you to see that when I'm speaking to you guys, I get the feedback from other people saying it's my voice. This is your classified member's voice is speaking right here. I wanted you to see it so you can really have a knowledge tonight of when you're voting on this calendar. Obviously, the teachers are having an issue with what's possibly going on. So are we. I really think that you need to listen to your whole staff because we are the ones that are the driving force that teach the children every day. So, in closing, I thank you all for your time, your consideration, and for listening to the voices of our classified staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Starkweather. And that brings us to our management reports. Which principal is up first? All right, Principal Camacho.
Good evening, Board President Anderson, School Board Superintendent Dr. Gawley, Ms. Gina, and Cabinet. I'm honored here to share some updates from our school as we continue to build a strong foundation for success. I always keep this slide up just a reminder that if they're not in school, we can't help them, we can't support them, we can't thrive. But I'm happy to report that we are currently at 97% average daily attendance, and that's due to the hard work of our staff, creating an environment where kids want to come to school every day, and also just the hard work that our attendance clerk is doing to make sure that we cover with independent study contracts. So thank you guys. All right, so I'm first going to start out with some MTSS TOSA. This is our intervention teacher, Dana Bonwell, who's putting in the work, the schedule with some of our instructional aides to help do some really targeted intervention work. So during quarter 3, 50 students received targeted reading intervention, resulting in a strong measurable growth across all grade levels and skill areas. Phonemic awareness showed particularly significant gains, with kindergarten students increasing from 23% to 71% of their third of their end of the year goal, and grade 1 students exceeding expectations by reaching 102%. This is especially notable given the strong connection between phonemic awareness and future reading success. This first for kinder was their first measure was administered in November, and the most recent was in March. So we're not even at the end of the school year, and we're still targeting that intervention. Phonics skills also improved steadily in letter sound fluency, all grade levels demonstrating meaningful progress, with grade 1 students growing from 34% to 84%, and kindergarten more than doubling their progress. Word blending saw similar gains, with grade 1 students rising from 19 to 92%, and kindergarten progressing from 0 to 29%, reflecting strong early skill development. Again, first measure was in November. The second one was in March, which means we still have a couple months to really target and see that growth across those grade levels. Fluency growth was evident across grades 1 through 6, with most dramatic improvement in grade 1, increasing from 12.5 to 89% of their end of the year goal. Upper grades also showed consistent progress, with several groups nearly doubling their performance. Back one. Overall, the data reflects that targeted intervention is effectively accelerating student growth, helping close skill gaps, and moving students closer to grade level reading expectations. I wanted to add that for the upper grades, 3rd through 6th, their first initial was in January, so they've only had targeted intervention for two and a half months, so we're expecting higher gains by the end of the year. All right, in February, Area A Board Member Rachel Dombrowski recently held a small town hall meeting with those who were able to attend and gathered meaningful feedback to help guide our next steps as a district. We are grateful to the families who took the time to share their concerns, insight, and thoughtful ideas. Their voices play an essential role in shaping the future of our district, and most importantly, our incredible school community at Bonsall West Elementary. Thank them for their continued partnership and support. There's a couple of families engaged in some conversation or some rotation. Thank you for showing up. That was a nice little event. Okay, in March, we just celebrated, and we proudly announced that Ms. Shauna Reed has been selected as Bonsall West Classified Employee of the Year. Surprised her. She was in shock when the curtains opened and her family was behind the curtain. This was a well-deserved recognition, as you heard all the things that she does, her outstanding dedication, unwavering commitment, and the positive impact that she makes on our students, staff, and community each day. Also in March, it was a great honor. I know we're going to honor Mr. Guzman here at the board meeting. In March, it was a great honor to recognize this year's Bonsall West Teacher of the Year, Mr. Sergio Cesar Guzman. Mr. Guzman exemplifies what it truly means to be an educator. He builds meaningful and lasting connections with his students and consistently goes far above expectations of his role. Day after day, he gives his time, energy, and heart to ensure that students feel supported, engaged, and inspired. He leads so many extracurricular activities that take a long list to list them. Lunchtime sports, big events like our variety show that we'll highlight tonight, and the BUSD. He always leads the BUSD Women's Club Art Show. The man never sleeps, I tell you. So thank you, Mr. Guzman, if you're out there listening. All right. The first week of March was busy and full of school spirit. Our students enjoyed, how did that get mixed up? Let me go back. Let me find the right slide. I'll do this and I'll go back to that. Full of school spirit, our students enjoyed Read Across America dress-up days, special visits from Read Across America alumni readers, our career fair, and always the fun character book parade. Read Across America Week was a celebration to remember, from fun spirit days to welcoming these guest readers. Excitement and school pride. Our former Colts returned to campus to share their love of reading, spending the morning reading aloud to classrooms and inspiring students. It was a wonderful time, and to remember that once a Colt, always a Colt. So here are some of our alumni readers. Quite a big crowd, right? Yes, it was very impressive. So thank you to them for coming out and supporting our school and really giving our kids some mentorship and talking about what their futures are ahead of them. We also had College and Career Day at Bonsall West, a huge success. Our scholars had an opportunity to explore a wide range of future possibilities, from careers in firefighting, law enforcement, the medical field, to the many pathways available through college and higher education. The day was filled with excitement, inspiration, and meaningful conversations about goals and dreams. And again, we had the high school ambassadors there as well, giving them firsthand what it's going to be like to go to high school, and they were excited about that. A special thank you to Miss Andy, our school counselor, for bringing valuable resources and opportunities to our campus. Because of her efforts, our scholars are dreaming big and beginning to plan for a bright and successful future. Now let me go back to the other slide that I must have got mixed up here. We had a lot to celebrate in the month of March, starting with our Leader in Me. Student of the Month award winners awarded for Habit 6, Synergize. The Leader in Me is the principle of creative collaboration, summarized as together is better. It means valuing differences, building on strengths, and working together to create better solutions. The 1 + 1 = 3 or more than anyone could achieve alone. It focuses on teamwork, open-mindedness, and finding third alternative solutions. Let me find my farm visits. Yes, the farm visits are back. Oh man, these guys are excited. They couldn't be more excited. These hands-on experiences give our students the opportunity to dig in, explore, and learn firsthand on how food is grown. From planting seeds to discovering the science behind agriculture, our scholars are building valuable skills and a deeper appreciation for where their food comes from. It's always a highlight full of curiosity, learning, and plenty of smiles. They take away what they learn and apply it at our Bonsall West Garden. My daughter had the opportunity to go yesterday, and she woke up real early and she's like, I need something I can get dirty. And we're like, what's going on? And I knew she was going to the farm, but I didn't think they were gonna get dirty. So she was very excited. So that's kind of the feel when the kids go. But they do bring back what they learn, and that we have our own garden, and the kids really love this on Fridays. This is what they do. So if you're ever in the area, stop by around lunch, right before, I think the older grades after lunch, and you'll see them in action. And I usually get on Fridays either flowers or some kind of plant from the garden shows up on my desk, and so they always bring me treats from that. All right, here we go. We wrapped up a busy and exciting week as we headed into a well-deserved spring break. Mr. Guzman once again delivered an outstanding variety show, showcasing the incredible talents of our scholars, from energetic dance routines and powerful vocal performances to impressive instrumental pieces ranging from electric guitar solos to piano solos. Our students truly shined on stage, and I have a sample of some of the talent. This is a stand-up comedian. She did it last year and pretty much roasted me. This year she got her teachers, but I want to show you just the end part of it. This is about my call on Sundays.
Revolution. But the thing that really blows my mind here at Bonsall West is our fearless leader, Mr. Camacho. Because at 5 p.m. every Sunday, both my parents' phone rings. And I already know, nobody in the history of the world has ever been excited to get a phone call from the principal on Sunday. That's not a, have a great weekend, everyone, you call. No, that's a, the weekend is over, kids. Return to your desks immediately. Honestly, that call should come with sad movie music in the background. So yeah, I'm just trying to survive this grade, get good grades, score some goals, and with all due respect, Mr. Camacho, I avoid that Sunday 5 p.m. call. That's my time. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, she's pretty hilarious. And then I have, lastly, a group of our 6th graders took it upon themselves to spread a little joy before spring break, organizing and handing out popsicles to middle school students as they stepped off the bus on Friday. The entire effort was thoughtfully planned and carried out on their own, an impressive act of initiative and kindness. Great job, ladies. Here we have, they're up there just doing what they do. Charlie Denning performed at Onsler. Violet Deputy took on the role of Lorax, and Elsie Serafine appeared as the bear. So that's what we do. We like to give back to our community, and some upcoming events. We have family game night tomorrow night. If you want to come out and try a new game, we have lots of different games, and our families bring different games to share. We have this Saturday Barnes & Noble Book Fair, 4 to 7. All proceeds are given to the school even for the entire day. So you don't have to come at 4 to 7 if you're in an area and want a good book. We have lunch on the lawn, Purple Star ceremony we're looking forward to, and then multicultural night in May 29th. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. That brings us to Principal Calabrese.
Thank you. Good evening, board, esteemed board, as well as Dr. Gawley, audience, and of course, Ms. McInerney. We have been incredibly busy at Vivian Banks Charter School. This is just a snapshot of some of the things that you're going to be seeing as the presentation goes on. We have in the top left-hand corner, those are our middle school and high school students that came and performed for our students. Our students love assemblies, and they are so attentive during those. We have a lunch on the lawn after the end of our Dr. Seuss Read Across America week in the middle. And then top right, that's Miss Anna Rameshwar. She's doing the Capena lessons. Bottom left, that's our game night, little snapshot field trip that our upper grade students went onto the Rady Shell. They got front row seats for a symphony performance and again, held their attention, no problem. Our younger students got to go to the Museum of Making Music, and that was courtesy of our amazing Mrs. G, who's our music teacher. She organized those field trips for us. One of our adorable students there in the center enjoying Read Across America Week. We had an elder reader from the community, Teresa Mahato, agree to just come and enjoy and spend time with our kids. And so she read Native American books and stories to all of our classes. And then we have Craft Club right there. Our students are getting to participate in Craft Club, Yearbook Club, and Pep Club. And our students love the clubs. So here's a little bit more of those highlights. Again, we've got Teresa Mahato in that top left corner. We've got one of our students as she knits, stitches, and learns how to do craft bags and make quilts. And then the YMCA sign there in the center, this isn't something we do every day. This is something that the wonderful Stacy Pecor did with our students. And you can see in that bottom left-hand corner how excited the kids were to participate. They got everybody engaged. We also had a net assembly. The net assembly is a pay it forward assembly. So I had contacted them at the beginning of the year because we always had the net assembly at Bonsall West, but they found out the size of our school and they said, no, we do not come to school so small. And I'm like, okay, free assembly. And then later they contacted us and they came to our school, and I will tell you, we sold $700 worth of yo-yos. It's gonna go pay it forward for somebody else to get a yo-yo assembly, and that's with 50 kids. That's pretty incredible, I think. Game night was an incredible success. It was very competitive. I was surprised by how competitive it was. We had a lot of community members that came out. Our fire department, as always, the Men in Blue, always supporting Vivian Banks Charter School, but we also had social services there. We had high school students that were there supporting. We had teachers, and of course our wonderful families. And we were so pleased that we were able to offer this as another free event. So we had free pizza dinner for all of our families, including, of course, home-baked brownies. But the pizza was courtesy of Chairman as well as the Apollo Casino. So we've been able to offer every single one of our family nights, with the exception of the beginning of the year, our fall festival was a very nominal fee of $5 for dinner. And then we've been able to offer free dinner. So it's been a lot of fun to just spend time with our families. Read Across America Week, love Read Across America Week. I love obviously dressing up. That's why I'm dressed up in the middle, but I was able to read to all the classes. I also dropped another rap book. So if you check out some of our YouTube channels, you can see me rapping. I think this is my 6th or 7th book that I've rapped. A lot of fun for me. I really get into it. Who knew I was an extrovert even though I'm an introvert? On the top left-hand corner, that is our cafe, our reading cafe that Mrs. Amerson lovingly did for our kids. Our kids were able to come and do a book swap. And so they were also able to just relax and hang out in the book cafe. That was what that one little student was doing. He was enjoying his new book that he got. We voted on what our favorite books were. We had a character parade, and we had a wonderful lunch on the lawn. So it was just a lot of fun to really celebrate reading with our students and our families, and it really put a smile on so many of the kids' faces, including mine. We raised $7,500 more. Woohoo! We got awarded, the Paula Giving Program awarded us $7,500 for our 30 for 30. So we are now up to a little bit over $14,000. I know I said $1 million last year. The school year's not over yet, so we're getting closer. The $7,500 is going to be used in conjunction with Project Harmony. Project Harmony is honoring and affirming the roots and minds of Native American youth, and this is a collaboration that's preparing school psychologists and school counselors to serve Indigenous youth. And so the wonderful Carol Robinson, along with some of our own psychologists, Brianna Kinlancini, now Zering, as well as former school psychologist, Star, are going to be working with our students to try to mentor and train incoming school counselors and school psychologists to work with students. So they're going to be doing some resiliency circles with our students. They're going to be coming every Monday, 8 different people. And they're going to also be working with our students on math intervention. I'm going to be sharing with you some reading intervention results that we've had with the amount of support that we have. So we really wanted to focus on math for next year. And this grant is going to really help support those math materials, as well as a lot of those culturally rich supports that we want to have for our students, including beading materials and supplies and things like that. So that's going to be what this money is used for. And this kind of explains a little bit more about what we're going to be doing with that Project Harmony, as well as the $7,500, the very generous donation from that grant. So the math materials that were purchased, those concrete representational abstract, this was something that was recommended by San Diego State University and Project Harmony. It really uses those visual representations for the kids along with those concrete physical objects in order to help the students with problem solving. And this is going to be adapted for Native and Indigenous youth by using those familiar and meaningful physical objects that the students see in their environment, as well as manipulatives. And so I'm really excited about showing you results next year of what our math results are going to be based on this additional support that we'll have. We celebrated our Classified Employee of the Year as well as our Teacher Employee of the Year. Very, very worthy, Miss Kelly Lyons. She is our TKK combination teacher. She brought TK to Vivian Banks this school year. And in a little bit, you'll see just a little taste of what she's been doing with our students and how she's really helped them to grow. We had a couple of students that were, one that was not even verbal at the beginning of the year, who is now speaking in complete sentences, very articulate, and is pretty much the highest student in her class, even though she's only a little TKer, knows all her letters and sounds. And so Miss Lyons is truly a miracle worker and has been able to help those little seeds that she's planted. You can see her little flowers blooming there. Those are all her students in that flower basket. So by just constantly cultivating and watering and really sprinkling a little bit of that magic and that love with the students, she's really truly enabled them to grow so much. And you can see a couple of our sweet babies right there. And then you already got a chance to hear about the wonderful Mr. Dennis Trujillo. He is our ACES coach. Little fun fact, he used to be a custodian at Vivian Banks as well a few years back. And he just truly has a heart for the kids at Paula. And the kids adore him. They are so sad when they don't get to have Mr. Dennis at lunch recess. And just so you all know how we're able to pay for that, we're using our Johnson O'Malley money to help cover the cost of having Mr. Dennis come in a little bit earlier, since he is an ACES coach after school. But the students were so excited when we announced who was both a Teacher of the Year as well as a Classified Employee of the Year, because we tried to make them guess on who it's going to be. And they just were so thrilled when they heard about Mr. Dennis as well as Miss Lyons. Although with Miss Lyons, the cat was a little bit out of the bag because her family sat front row. So I think she kind of figured it out before we even announced it. So just like Mr. Camacho said, we cannot have student results accelerating or exceeding if our students aren't there at school. And so our average daily attendance, well, not quite 97%, it's still 95.74% overall since the beginning of the year. This is a huge celebration and improvement from years past, from what I understand, at Vivian Banks. So I'm very excited and pleased with these results. A lot of that has to do with just making sure that the kids have that sense of belonging when they come to school, as well as our office lead really reaching out to the families and getting those independent study contracts completed. And we have a lot of incentives. So yes, sometimes there is a popsicle involved with coming to school for the month. And yes, sometimes there is a game truck that comes after several months. But the kids are really getting excited about coming to school. And they really are getting invested in their learning. So those are just the averages for those different months. We did have a little bit of a dip in March. We've had some illnesses. So the reason why I'm excited, while you're not going to see a ton of green like you do with the other schools, I do want you to notice that improvement. So that first line, this is our Vivian Banks iReady reading data from the beginning of the year to spring. So the only students that have tested so far in the spring have been our upper grades, so our 3rd through 5th grade students. So we don't have all of our students captured on this, but I wanted to give you just a little taste of where we are at. So we started the school year with a significant number of our students below grade level. As you can see, we had 28% that were 3 or more grade levels below, 33% that were 2 grade levels below, 33% that were 1 grade level below, and only 6% that were mid or above grade level. Fast forward to right now, we are now at 21% in the green. That is a huge jump from 6%. We have now 44% that are in the 1 grade level below. And yes, I'm excited about this because as you can see, my red's decreasing, right? And this has to do with all of the hard work, not just from the teachers themselves, but every single staff member on campus. So we do have an MTSS teacher as well. Ms. Bonsall is there. We also have a lot of hard work with a teacher who's paid for by the Paula Band of Mission Indians, Ms. Brand, who works with the students, as well as Ms. Jackie Withers and Ms. Anna. So we have a lot of support and a lot of people that are really making sure that our students are really moving that bar and just getting them excited to take the test, right? You know, I'm going to show you some results in a second from one of the specific classes, and they exceeded the expectations. So this is Miss Amerson's 3rd and 4th grade class. And again, I want you to notice all that beautiful green that's on that chart. So we had a highlight here. 85% of the students are already at their annual typical growth. So we've had huge, huge jumps. 166% of typical growth. So this is just a huge, huge jump for all of these students, and it's because they are working so incredibly hard. This top student here, the student that made 246%, I'm just going to say that out loud again, 246% of growth from the beginning of the school year till March, and it's only March, we still have a couple of more months to go, is a SPED student. Top student that scored the highest. That's incredible. Look at those percentages. I captured the top ones, but these are small classes, everybody. To see that a student's going from those different grade levels, we have kids that are moving 2 grade levels. That's unheard of in such a short period of time. I wanted to show you the Lexia progress. This is a program that our students are working on as well. Beginning of the year, only 9% of the students were on grade level material, and now we have 49%. And math, again, we also had beginning of the year data as well as showing where their students are at. We don't have any green yet in this area, but we are definitely having a change for the beginning of the year. So highlights, 99% of typical growth. I'm so excited. And here we go, 217%. 217% of typical progress, going from kindergarten to 2nd grade level. Unheard of. That's going to close that gap. That student's going to have that skill level for the rest of their life, right? And here's some data. This is the Ms. Bonsall data. Kindergarten, beginning of the year, 7% on their DIBELS. That's their phonemic segmentation fluency. Went up to 41% by March. This is all of our students. Ms. Bonsall works with all of our students. 41% at the beginning of the year, now at 104%. Letter sound, nonsense words. This is not regular words, so the students can't just memorize a pattern of words. They're actually having to make those sounds. Kindergarten going from 1% to 41%. 1st grade, 18 to 85%. Going all the way up. And then I want you to look at this fluency growth, because fluency, you have to be fluent in order to comprehend what you're reading, right? And all these different measures that are coming before help build towards that fluency. But look at that, 71% at the beginning of the year and the goal, 113% now. So our students, again, are going to be able to take these skills, and the hope is, right, we've got state testing coming up, is that these are going to start to reflect in our state test scores too. So I'm pretty excited. I hope you all are too. It's a beautiful school out there, and we have beautiful students, and they are working hard, and they're showing that potential coming through. A lot of fun activities coming up. We've got our open house. Sorry, President Anderson, we will miss your community forum because we had to switch our open house to Tuesday. But it's an open house, spring carnival, and barbecue. And yes, there's a book fair too. So it's going to be a wonderful event. We have some high schoolers that have already volunteered to work, as well as our firefighters. We've got our first ever track and field day event at the school to prepare us for Tomlinson Games. So we hopefully will be a little bit more competitive with our running club students every day. We've got the lunch on the lawn that's actually not going to be on the 17th anymore, but we do have a charter council meeting that day. And our first ever Ag Day. This is exciting because we're going to have an Ag Day. This was something that one of our teachers wanted to do because she came from Valley Center. And we got it sponsored by the Paula Environmental Department Agency. And so that's going to have a Wild Wonders assembly as well. School-wide field trip coming up, game truck for our attendance, Purple Star ceremony, and a food assembly. So we've got Abe Sanchez coming to do a food assembly for us. He's one of the elders in the community, and he's going to be making We Wish with our students and showing them the importance of how we use acorns. And then as you can see, quite a few things coming up in May as well. And now I'll change hats and go to the virtual academy. We had all of our high school students come in person to do their test for the end of the quarter. And I'm happy to report, I'll show you in a second, where our students landed with their high school courses. And they also had a field trip to the Wild Animal Park with our wonderful ATP program. They had a fantastic time, a lot of fun. I didn't know this. This didn't happen the first time I went with ATP to the Wild Animal Park. We pushed wheelchairs all over. They actually will cart you from the front of the Wild Animal Park directly to the tram. So they got the first class service that day. And our kids had a wonderful time, and as you can see, so did the families that attended. So we had 28 classes total taken by our high school students. We only have 10 high school students, and 27 out of 28 have passed. So I'm pretty proud of that. The student that did not pass, we're giving them a couple of extra days to see if they can try to increase that, just because we don't want to have any Fs on those transcripts. But we had 8 classes that have A's, 13 that have B's, 5 that have C's, 1 that has a D, and then 1 that has an F. So I would say our students are doing well in the virtual academy as well. And then our very sweet ATP students had a fantastic time during St. Patrick's Day. You can see one of my favorites. He's going to be promoting out. Mr. Abe is wearing that St. Patty's Day hat. The students are loving going over and spending time over on the field. They also love doing art, and some of their art I know has been purchased with the fundraiser that's been going on. And then we've got a few upcoming dates. Cannot wait to spoil our staff down here as well as up at Vivian Banks for staff and teacher appreciation. And we'll have statewide testing in person, and a Wild Wonders on-site field trip for the students over here too, and then Memorial Day and reclassification, as well as, of course, our wonderful district-sponsored Purple Star. And thank you so much for letting me share a little bit of what is going on out at Vivian Banks and here. Thank you.
Thank you, principals. That brings us to our board reports. We'll start with our student board rep.
Good evening, everyone. So I want to start by saying that I really enjoy seeing and both hearing the recognitions that we do every board meeting, because it just really shows how the district truly cares and appreciates everyone in this district, from students, teachers, and staff, as well as the partnerships we have with local organizations. I've had Miss Olmos as my driver to and from Palomar, and no matter what day it was, she was always so nice and would greet us and be like, how was your class? You know, what did you learn about? And I want to say congratulations to everyone who was recognized as well, and I give my thanks to them for all their hard work. I also want, so trying to shifting, I did also hear talk about this schedule change, and while I don't know, you know, I'm not fully aware of the reasons that have brought the board to this decision, but I just want to express from the student perspective that the way it is now, it should stay that Fridays are early release, because if it was changed to Thursdays, it would provide a challenge for early college courses, as many of them are Tuesday, Thursday schedules, so maybe it would interfere with transportation and whether students would be able to take a specific course or not. So that's just my perspective on that. But in regard to the academies, I was expecting our academy presenters to speak before me, but I'll give them a little intro, sharing my perspective as an ambassador who's also an ASB. I'm able to see what's going on behind the scenes and the amount of work and planning that goes on for the academies, planning the speaker series, presenting the elementary schoolers, and just getting the word out there that we have these new academies that allow students to explore careers and make connections within the student population with other students who share their interests. And I've definitely seen a change in the school culture because students are interacting with their fellow classmates, their fellow schoolmates that maybe they wouldn't normally, and they just know more of like underclassmen or upperclassmen, and we're able to say hi, and we're able to also be competitive and be like, maybe lawn leadership is in the winning right now, but not for long, and like that sort of thing. And it's just really fun. In regard to presenting to the elementary schoolers, I can't describe the amount of contentment that we feel when we're able to get them excited about the future and about all the different career options they have and all the things that we're doing at the high school that they will be able to have a part in. And so I'll let them talk more about that. I won't take too much up. And then we had Legion launch today. This was really exciting because normally we have it in August, but doing it during the school year allowed us to have more students there. And our ASB members and students outside of ASB helped in leading the groups of 8th graders in playing games, and they gave tours of the school to the 8th graders, and it went really well because we were able to both show them and share more about the high school while creating connections with the students, letting them know that high school isn't that scary, and they're gonna have like faces that they recognize, and if they have any questions, they have people that they can ask, and they have that support. And then the high schoolers also had fun. We were joking around saying, oh, we feel so old, even though we're not. Like, oh no, especially us seniors, we're like, what do you mean we're graduating? But it was really nice connecting and interacting with them. They were very energetic, and it was just very fun talking with them and sharing more about all the things that we have at the high school. And they got to meet Mr. Hinchliff and Mr. Van and see some of our teachers too, so that was great. And then Miss Ringer also spoke about athletics and got them excited about all the sports that we offer. And then speaking of sports, our boys volleyball team got second place in a tournament that they just had last month. So congratulations to them. But our other spring sports are working hard. They're showing up every day and showing just how disciplined they are going through conditioning and practice, especially as we're getting into some warmer weather. It can get very rough. But overall, we have a lot of events coming up as we get into the final stretch of the school year. Our seniors got our caps and gowns yesterday, and we're thinking about how to decorate and what to wear and writing our speeches if we have to speak at graduation. Of course, there's the art show on the 6th of May, prom on the 9th, and then senior awards on the 19th, and then grad night is on the 29th at Universal Studios, so we're looking forward to that. We're buying our tickets, and of course graduation. But we are making the most out of the remainder of the school year and continuing to work hard. So, yes, thank you.
Thank you, and always a hard act to follow, Trustee Ortega.
Yeah, I don't have really that much, but there are some things that did come up. I do like all the recognitions that were done earlier too, and I felt they're well deserved. I know Mr. Dennis has done a great job out there in Paula, and a lot of times he doesn't get the recognition for what he does because of the number of students that he deals with on the scale compared to some other programs out there. But you know, when he provides that service for those students out there, it really helps, especially this PD situation, because a lot of the students stay in those programs, and so parents don't have to worry about watching their kid, going to pick up their kids when the end of school changes. So that really helps a lot, and you know, that's a service, like I said, that they provide, and yeah, sometimes it goes unrecognized, some of those things. And yeah, I really appreciate all the other ones, the Teachers of the Year and Classified Employees of the Year and stuff. And I did want to say a correction from something that was mentioned earlier about the calendar change as far as the spring break. I did propose that, and I first proposed that in 2017, before I was even on the school board. I mentioned it to the school board members at that point. And it was taken under consideration, not a lot of weight to it. That year they had the Lilac Fire, and the 2018 was when I got appointed onto the board, and that was also went through the end of the school year, so I did propose it again. And one of the things was, I proposed it, but I also asked what were some of the issues with it being the way it is and changed. How would it affect people? A lot of people said it would affect their vacations that they already had planned, which makes sense. So it actually went through the process, and then it is true, it was actually approved in 2021 or 22, which was 3 years later. So it gave people a chance to change their vacation time. So there was plenty of time, and people definitely should have known about it, because I mean, I proposed it when I wasn't even on the school board, and when I did get onto the school board, I proposed it again, but the 2 following years, I wasn't on the school board anymore. I didn't win the election, so it was my first year back when it did get approved. So there was thinking about it, and there was work on it. I know there was some numbers put out about having it on after Easter, or you know, some other time. My only question would be to that is, why did those dates proposed? I mean, I actually had a reason for it. It wasn't a big reason, it wasn't an important reason. It affected some families out in Paula, not a big number of families, but the reason why it got passed is because there was really nobody that had any reason for it to not be on those days. So I'm always open to the idea if there's reasons out there, and of course if those reasons outnumber the ones that we have out there in Paula. It really affects a very few number of families as far as a percentage of our total district. So I know, you know, there's no reason why it should be one way or the other, but I don't think I got it passed simply because I was on the district board, because there was other board members too that could have, you know, argued against it, and just nobody did. And it was proposed over a period of like 4 or 5 years. So anyway, just wanted to make that open. And I did have a question too, because the 30 for 30 celebration, is that going to be on the 13th or the 20th? Because my calendar says 13th. Tribal meeting, yeah. I was going to say I would have to leave early to go to the tribal meeting. Okay, just to let you know, I didn't get the memo on it. It's still on my calendar as the 13th. And that's pretty much all I had for right now. I was going to say Antonio Guerra Day. We did have Evan Pepper as our MC down there at Antonio Guerra Day. He did an outstanding job. He was under the weather a little bit, so he had a little trouble lasting the entire day. His voice was a little sore, a little hoarse when we first started, and it's a 4-hour event. Round about 2:30, 2 o'clock, he was starting to lose it a little bit, and he wasn't feeling very good. But he stuck it out through the end. But yeah, I saw him at the end of the thing. He was sitting like this, and he was just he wasn't feeling very good at all. But he's a trooper. He stuck it out. But I do say for his first time being an MC at an event like that, one of the things I liked about it was I've been doing it for several years. Excuse me. Just talking about getting sick, and here I am getting sick. I've been doing it for several years, and I've met a lot of people, in my efforts on doing this. And when I went to introduce him to Mr. Ramos, he already knew Mr. Ramos from meeting him up in Sacramento. So it's like Mr. Ramos saw him, and he goes, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, there you go there." And some of the other people that I was going to introduce him to, he already knew. So the boy gets around, so he's already got to step up on it. These are people that I've met over the last 15 years, and this is, he's barely 18 years old, and he's already knows a lot of these people. So he definitely has the right mentality and personality for it to meet people, talk with people, and listen to people. And I think he's going to go far. And he is my cousin. I will say that. I wasn't the one who recommended him. It was somebody else who recommended him to me, and I asked him about it, and he did a great job. So that was great. And I know there was one picture and that was shared up there with Mr. A and stuff, and Mr. Ramos, and that was an awesome picture. But there was another picture later on where Teresa Nieto, who's on the council for the tribe, Paula Band-Amish Indians, Fred Grand, who's a consultant to the First Santa County Courthouse, and myself, we all received awards from Mr. Ramos for our efforts with the San Antonio Guard Day. And so that was actually a pretty cool event. I don't usually get recognized for a lot of these things that we're doing. And, a lot of times you don't do this for a pat on the back, but, it does kind of tell you that people are listening to all the hard work you're putting into different things. So, and I also want to say congratulations to Larissa for her efforts. This is not something that somebody just does like, I think I'm going to do this today and get this award. This is something for dedication of several years of activity and stuff. So congratulations, Larissa, on your efforts and stuff. And it's nice to see that you're finally getting recognized for a lot of things. I remember she was also on the magazine, in that magazine too, CSBA magazine. So definitely doing a lot of things and putting Bonsall on the map. These are statewide publications and stuff that she's getting recognition for. So it's putting Bonsall on the map. So we're doing some great things here in this district, and just want people to realize that there's people that are always trying to copy us, trying to keep up with us, and so we got to keep going to improve, to stay ahead of the game. And listening to the board report for our student board member and stuff like that, it's there's a lot of cool things going on, in our district. And sometimes it's hard to keep track of everything. Doesn't mean that any one of them is less important. Just means that sometimes 2 or 3 things happen in one day, and you just can't be there, to really see the impact that a lot of the programs have. So, again, thanks for everybody's hard work, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Dr. Dombrowski.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations, first of all, to you, President Anderson, for your award, and to all of the staff. The support staff is so needed at any school to be able to, serve the whole child. So just wonderful to see all of these, engaged and people who really care about our students in this district being recognized tonight. I do want to say I was at the Student of the Month celebration. Someone in my household received an award, and I really enjoyed, Mr. Camacho, your Price is Right style of inviting the students down. And it was very funny because I shared that with my son when I got home. Like, he calls you down like Price is Right, and he's like, "What's that?" And like, he had no idea. And I was like, wow, I'm really showing my age right now. But it was a really cool experience, and I did see a little bit of the variety show after that, but I did have to leave. And it's, I know it went overtime. They had, hours of variety show before that. So the students really, enjoy that. And Mr. Guzman does a great job there. So I do just want to kind of recognize that. I did also have some experience talking with the Law and Leadership group at the high school last month. And had a really nice conversation with some of those students. I got a lot of nutrition questions, surprisingly, because once they learned I did research in nutrition, they wanted to ask me all about that. They do want us to work on our school meal program, and so that's something that I, said I will look into that for them. Just continuing to focus on, serving the whole child, looking at our health and wellness policies and how we implement those. And just in earlier conversations today, it's really evident that we need to focus on social emotional wellness for our students, and really, looking forward to working with district staff to make sure that we're getting those resources to our students that are desperately needed, especially in this, crazy time right now in our world. The sense of, the end of the term, I'm getting this with my college students as well, too. It's a high stress time right now, a lot of anxiety. We have a lot of military families also in our community. I just learned of a parent today that's going on deployment. And so I think, we just need to be really supportive and mindful of engaging students in that social emotional wellness whenever we can through the classroom. And, I'm looking forward to working with the district to get some more services to our students. Thank you.
Trustee Marchette.
I'd like to thank all the families and community members who participated in the Area D trustee meeting. I really appreciated the thoughtful discussions in which people were really trying to understand, not just, to listen to understand, not listen to respond. So I thought we had some great conversation, and I really appreciate everyone that showed up. Thank you.
Trustee Gaddis.
Hello there. I'm cranky today, so I apologize ahead of time. I see Mr. Hinchcliffe here, and I just got to say, I've been reading some Frederick Douglass speeches. You should really have people study his speeches, because I tell you what, aside from the content, his structure and his rhetorical techniques are incredible. He's very gifted, probably on the equivalent almost to Cicero himself. But I just wanted to throw that out because I saw you there. Aside from that, I wanted just to say, that obviously we're in April, and we're going to soon be in May, and our seniors are soon going to be leaving us and going off to new things. And, like I discussed last time, I think it's, especially to the students that are going to college, I think that, I know that Dr. Golly's working on this, but it's really, really important that, I think we have a discussion with them about what to expect at college, making sure that they understand that some of the resources that are available, kind of help them understand what they're going to encounter when they get there, just so they know and they're not hit blindsided by anything. Because there's different schools have different pedagogical styles, right? And so, for example, if you're going to most of the UC schools use the quarter system, which is a completely different system than what we use here. So I think that just kind of giving them a little bit of exposure, some background, looking for, why is it important? What is a TA and why are they important? What are the resources that are available to them at the colleges that most people don't even know exist? That are free resources. For example, they usually have free tutors at most schools for mathematics up to a certain level. They have them for foreign languages. So you don't ever have to feel like you're alone. Like if you're starting to, but this I can't. There's always resources available, and it's really important that you know ahead of time, because I know they try to tell you that stuff at orientation, but none of the kids pay attention to orientation. They're too excited about the school year. So I just think that if we get together and we give them a presentation, it's going to be something that's going to echo with them when they do encounter it in their college. And go, oh, that's right. They talked to me about this. There is a way to get around this, because no matter what type of stress or frustration or whatever it is you face, you'll get through it. And I think, our goal should be to prepare you not just learning teaching you knowledge, but teaching you learning skills for your next step, because it's going to be different. So I just encourage that we make sure that we get that in place so that we can do that for them. But other than that, that's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you. Good evening. I want to thank everyone for the recognition. It was definitely a surprise, and it was really exciting to actually, the first time I was actually at the Capitol building in Sacramento, so that was pretty darn cool. Many of you know I'm a photographer, and tonight I want to take a moment to zoom out and reflect on the broader work of our school district and the role of board governance. Public education is really complex. In California, we operate within an education code that spans thousands of pages, and guiding everything from funding and facilities to labor and student services. And that structure informs every single decision we make while we honor our collective responsibility to serve students, staff, families, and our community as a whole. Layered into that reality is complex budgeting in the absence of blank checks to fund salaries, programs, and construction. And school districts are among the most intensive public systems in California, the 5th largest global economy. And we are working to be responsible stewards of every dollar, which unfortunately are in the bottom third of funding per student in the United States. So budget choices directly impact classrooms, programs, and opportunities for students. And that is why we continue to emphasize a governance grounded approach grounded in stewardship rather than speed. Measure twice, cut once. Take the time to understand the immediate needs and the long-term implications. And much of this work happens behind the scenes through negotiations, planning, and coordination across teams. It requires professionalism, trust, and a shared commitment to doing what is best for our students. So I want to recognize our teachers, staff, and administrators who carry this work forward every day with expertise and care. They are the reason why our system works. As a board, our responsibility is to hold that in full picture while staying grounded in why we do this work in the first place. So across our 88 square miles from Paula to Camp Pendleton, we serve a diverse community, including many military-connected families. And as we recognize this month as the month of the military child and our 5 Purple Star schools within our district, we are reminded that stability, consistency, and strong systems matter deeply for our students and the families that we serve. Add to all this, BUSD is actively engaged in long-range facilities planning, and this is generational work bridging where we have been and where we are going, honoring over 100 years of history while planning for the next 100, and that means rooted growth. It means designing spaces to flourish, and it means making thoughtful, deliberate decisions about how we invest in the future of this district. And that is the standard we are working towards, building a district where every student has the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to step forward with confidence, knowing that the system built around them is built with intention and worthy of the trust that families place in us every day. So every child, every taxpayer, every corner of our community. And thank you. And that brings us to our consent agenda for the evening. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And I'd like to invite our Executive Director of Human Resources to share a special introduction.
Yeah, I'd like to call Mr. Aaron Reyes to the podium. Aaron, would you join me? So tonight it's my pleasure to introduce to you our new Director of Purchasing and Risk Management, Aaron Reyes. Congratulations. Mr. Reyes joins us from San Diego Union High School District, where he served as the Facilities Planning Analyst. Yet he also has experience as an administrative analyst and accounting technician for San Marcos Unified. I'm also pleased to share that Aaron has done some work in the front office setting at a high school site. And so he brings a level of understanding as to the pressures and priorities of our classifying teams that are very forward-facing each and every day. He's off to a great start in Bonsall Unified and is meshing well with a really fantastic business and administrative office team. I definitely want to join Mrs. Castro's party, or I should say meetings that she has, because there's always a ton of laughter and food going on in there, but there's great work too. And so Aaron really inherits a really nice team to be a part of. He's focused and attentive. Yet we are glad to see that he's connecting with the team and business and administrative offices and people within our organization. Just a couple of fun facts about Aaron. He is a reader, which is a good sign, right? And he especially likes historical fiction, World War II era stuff. So that's what he's into, as well as enjoys the water at both the pool and the beach. And I was delighted to find out that I actually served as Aaron's assistant principal at Orange Glen High School a long, long time ago. And I'm really pleased about that too. But most importantly, we're really excited that you're here in our organization. You're going to be a really valuable asset to the management team. And so Aaron just wanted to say a quick hello to the board. Aaron.
Well, I just want to say thank you, and I'm very excited. I'm honored for the opportunity and to step into the role, and I look to serve as an asset to the Business Services Department as well as the district overall, and I hope to be able to lend my support and or to be able to support the staff and the students, Bonsall Unified, and in any way that I can.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. And that brings us to our information items for the evening. And we have a presentation from our facilities planning, Ms. Caroline Brown.
Hi, good evening, board, Dr. Gawley and Ms. McInerney. Here again for the facilities update for the month of April. We're going to go through where we've kind of gone since the last board meeting was not too long ago. So we're going to go through all of the items that we've done between March and April. Starting with the trustee area town hall summary, we had two town halls this month that I'll report on. I'm going to remind everybody about the facilities action plan and our gate number 1, which is the TK 6th grade level alignment update. And then we'll go through some calendaring information. We always like to ground ourselves in the framework of the future, and we went through that already today, so we'll skip right through that. So this says trustee area A town hall small group questions. It's actually trustee area all areas. The foundation of the meeting, basically Dr. Gawley does a presentation, the board member of the area does a presentation, and then we break off into small groups, and we have 4 different tables. What you notice, what are the positives and what are the weaknesses that people are seeing, the safety, access, and neighborhood impacts, tell us some priorities for the future and looking ahead, and then a discussion around the funding and partnership considerations for the public-private partnership. This is the summation of the boards that we've collected from each of the tables. So the overall impressions, we've got some strengths and some weaknesses and a couple of suggestions. Strengths is generally positive. BES is well regarded. Local schools seem to be meeting community needs. And then the weaknesses were pointed out as geographic disconnect, traffic congestion, fire safety, accessibility and aging facilities, and then the limited access between the homes of the new homes and the Highway 76. And then we went into priorities for the future, transition to the TK6 alignment, identify the most suitable location for a high school, ensure safety, and then consider community, the size and acceptance of future facilities, and the strong interest in upgrading existing, taking care of the existing assets that you have. And then we have safety, access, and neighborhood impact. Fire risk came up again. traffic, the increase potentially in some busing, and then neighborhood impacts, light pollution, and other items that might or might not fit on the Gerd Road property. And then funding, talk about maybe figuring out why the high school kids don't continue on from 9th to 12th. Maybe offer some business training opportunities for local businesses and the high school students, and then to avoid geo bonds and explore additional alternative funding items. And then again, prioritizing what we have, spending in the classroom, and reduce the operational overhead. And then the partnership considerations, there's openness amongst the group about low impact revenue generating uses. Consider relocating the district office to the Gerd Road site. Interest in flexibility, flexible facility solutions, multi-story portable buildings, and then to explore some partnerships with solar and battery production and storage. But then there was also a caveat about potential additional fire hazard there. So lots of conversations, no decisions have been made. We're collecting all of the town hall inputs, and after they're done at the end of May, we'll put all of them together, and I'm picturing a Venn diagram with sort of the commonalities in the middle, and then maybe some of the various things that are attributed to each trustee area in a unique sense. And so I wanted to know if Mr. Mashat wanted to make any more comments about the meeting, or if there are any other questions or discussion items on the trustee meeting. Okay, thank you. So we'll move back into the facilities action plan. These are slides that you've seen before, and they are a result of some meetings with Dr. Richards and Monica Fieri from our group, and they talked about doing action plans and how we're going to move from decision gate to decision gate in a phased manner. We talked about guiding principles at that last meeting, and these are the same as they were last before, and they're just to help ensure that we make action to support long-term, short-term needs as well as long-term goals. And then we have the framework, which is the gates on the left moving through a phased implementation to the work streams on the right. And then the last slide, or no, it's not the last one. The milestones, we have the milestones we're going to work through, and this is a long-term timeline process where we have 0 to 6 months, 6 to 24 months, 2 years to 5 years, and 5 years to 10 years. So it's going to be a short-term goals with long-term phasing. So then we want to get into a little bit of Gate 1. We talked about Gate 1 at the last meeting and said what we were going to do, and then what we wanted to do is come back and tell you what we've done. So the TK6 grade level alignment work group is assembled, made up of cabinet, site leadership, and teachers from various grade levels and various sites. And the goal is to gather concrete information on the impact so the board can provide a direction, and we'll be preparing a impact briefing and to bring that back to you at a later date. We reminded the group, Dr. Golly did a good job presenting to the group kind of why we were there and what our work steps were going to be. These are the why we're here. TK6 transition came from the focus groups prior, and for these reasons that are listed out here. And then our current challenges and why we have why we're here. Our most immediate and controllable lever we have is to do Gate 1, which is the TK6 transition in the district. We have TK6 transition is one of the most immediate and controllable levers that we have so that we can take the current configuration and make it the future configuration that is a seamless step between all the grade levels and the sites. And then this is going to require quite a bit of work. We're going to have work groups that get together a couple times before we are done with the impact briefing. but we're going to try to understand and get data on the enrollment and the sectioning, the facilities needs and the operational impacts, develop a sixth grade program promise, meaning that this isn't just a facilities decision, it's an education decision and student experience decision. And then to close the timeline, we have, we're going to put together the impact brief. We're going to iron out all the steps it's going to take to make the transition and assign a timeline to it. And so we're going to take the next couple of weeks to gather more input and then have a draft compiled in April and then be able to do a board debrief at the May meeting, have that draft completed end of April, early May, and then be ready to share. Any questions or discussion around that work progress underway?
We did have brief comment in closed session that perhaps we can convene earlier in advance of the next board meeting. So instead of meeting at 4:30, we can maybe meet at maybe even as early as 3:45 to go over some of those pieces.
Good. Good. And then this is our engagement, just a reminder of all the meetings that we're having. Put check boxes by the trustee area meetings that we've had, and we've got 2 coming up, as Dr. Ghali mentioned, April 14th and April 23rd, and then a board meeting on May 14th. And then as a reminder, we're also we're putting all of the information, and the survey link is still up on the website, and all of the presentations that we have are on the website in the facilities channel, and we'll just keep that up to date so that people can track what it is we're doing as our work continues. Do you have any questions or any discussion?
Where are we at with the number of completed survey responses?
Sorry, Dr. Ghali, I didn't look today.
It still varies. So I think there were questions, the total number looked like at about 500, but as far as completed responses per question, it still varies, and average perhaps around 300.
Okay. And then we'll plan on closing the survey after the last town hall.
Roger, how many people showed up at your town hall? Well, that's a pretty good turnout. I guess my question is, since we have it coming up, I mean, I just think we need to maximize exposure to try to get as many people in as we can. We want to, I mean, if we're going to have these, we want to make sure that people come. I know that we talked earlier that we're going to shift mine from 5 to 6 just because to accommodate not only the fact that we're having that open house, but also because a lot of parents work. And so we want to try to get as many community members as we can. But I still think that we need to use all social media channels that we can try to do. Whether that means, as I was maybe contact PTA members or some of our parent groups, try to see if they can help get that word out there to get as many people here as possible, so that when we do, when they are here, it'll be more productive.
Yeah, thank you. So that concludes my report for the month.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. And now we're at a Bonsall High School Academies update as our second information item for the evening. And thank you, students, for staying so late on a school night to share this information.
Alrighty, so good evening, esteemed board members. Congratulations, Trustee Ortega, on the Antonio Guard Day recognition, and of course, big congratulations to Board President Anderson on the Woman of the Year recognition. That's incredible. Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Ghali, and good evening, Ms. Gina. I know we have our Canva presentation that we should be pulling up for you right now, but I do want to start off by just saying how excited we are to be back here again to update the board on our progress with charting new paths through the Academy model at Bonsall High School. So I want to introduce my fellow presenters here. So as we know, my name is Mr. Hinchliffe. I work as our early college pathway specialist. I'm joined with our other pathway specialist, Mr. Eddie Van Hoosier, and then of course our amazing students who are really putting the leadership in their Law and Leadership Academy affiliation. I also have to give them some kudos for their success in our early college program. Adrina is in the Calgetzi pathway working on pursuing an associate's, and Abby is in 2 different certificate pathways looking to walk at Palomar's commencement at the end of the semester to earn those. So with that in mind, I just want to kind of circle back and revisit where we started at the beginning. Trustee Gaddis, I heard you with the Frederick Douglass. I took note. I'm going to work that in. And if you'll indulge me, I have a little quote of his where he shared, "I prayed for freedom for 20 years, but it wasn't until I prayed with my legs that I found my answer." And so when we initially presented to you guys, this was really just a vision. But as we come back and join you today, we're showing the legs that we put under this vision to implement a really effective program. So our goals here rested on 3 pillars. We're trying to supercharge our college career preparation for our students. We're trying to boost engagement and belonging, and we're trying to ensure that all of our learners are future ready. So to that end, I want to start off by celebrating some of the successes of our early college program. We've seen a lot of transition this year, and as our student board member pointed out, we're going to be seeing more flux as we go into next year. But for our fall semester, we've crunched the numbers. We've had 106 different class enrollments. Our students, almost 2/3 of our students are earning a B or higher. Out of all of those class enrollments, we have almost half of those receiving A's. And I also just want to highlight the variety of different courses that our students are engaging in. For a small school like Bonsall High School, we can only support so many electives in-house, but we have students who are enrolling in administration of justice, Chinese, statistics for psychology, welding. So there's so many different avenues for students to pursue their passions. And I also want to point out that our early college program has partnerships beyond just with Palomar. We've had a number of students who are completing university courses through a partnership with Cornell as well. So all in all, we walked out of fall semester with students earning a total of 272 credits. This is what I'm really excited about, though, is we are seeing a huge growth in student engagement with the early college program. You'll remember that we launched the academies at the beginning of fall semester, and you can very, very clearly see the results there that we're putting students on college pathways. So we've seen a 25% growth in that early college participation by our students. And not only that, but we're seeing huge growth in the underclassmen engaging with the program as well. And these students aren't just engaging in a kind of a one-off, but half of those students who are joining are on different pathways, whether that's a certificate path or a CalGUTC path. So all of that is helping us reach our vision of students earning 12 credits by the time they graduate, and really putting to practice the different degrees and certifications that are needed for post-high school life. So with that in mind, I do want to share some highlights of those different pathways. We have a student earning a new certificate this semester in marketing. We also have a couple students earning new certificates in the child development pathway. And I really want to give a shout out to those child development students who are part of our Legion leaders who have committed to service learning hours with Vivian Banks Charter School. So I'm going to hand the mic over here so we can hear a little bit of student perspective on what that service learning has looked like.
Hello, I'm Abigail. Working with children has been one of the most meaningful experiences in my high school years. As a volunteer in a 1st and 2nd grade combo class at Vivian Banks Elementary, I help a student improve on his math skills by guiding him through his problems and celebrating his progress. Other volunteers support students with vocabulary and phonics, and together we create an encouraging learning environment. This experience has taught me the importance of patience, adaptability, and positive reinforcement, since every child learns differently. It has also helped me as I work towards becoming a teacher. While I'm still deciding between elementary and high school, working with younger students has shown me how much I enjoy their energy and curiosity. Most importantly, I've seen how educators help build confidence and a love for learning. Being part of this process has strengthened my passion for teaching, and I'm excited to continue this journey toward my future career. Thank you.
So as you can see, we have 2 different certificate visuals down at the bottom. So Abby's participating in the associate teacher program. We also have students who are coming back and adding an additional certificate as well, which is the school-aged assistant. So that's a new certificate path that we just launched this semester. But we're launching a lot of new pathways this semester as well. So when we initially presented to the board at the beginning of the year, we had a vision for graphics that would help students be able to parse between 36 different pathways that Palomar offers, and that would enable us as staff members to support them in pursuing those certificates. And we really wanted to ensure that we were trying to embrace California's Vision 2030, leveraging our Golden State Pathway program in order to make sure that our students are not just earning college credit, but earning college credit on their way to a certificate or a degree. And so not only do we have these visuals that are now out and about around campus that are directly aligned with the academy so students know exactly where to start, but we've also invested a ton of work into creating a digital interface for students to interact with these different pathways as well. So I'm going to hand the mic over to Mr. Van to describe that a little bit.
Good evening. Thank you again for having us here. So I want to talk just briefly about our digital badging launch that we launched this spring with our early college program. Between Greg and I, we spent a lot of time designing badges. You'll see the 4 different levels of that kind of represent the level of rigor that is required to attain that badge. We've created over 400 different badges, 30 different pathways, so that students can earn badges that kind of build off of each other up to a culminating badge, which would be our level 4 there. The great thing about this badging program is that it's through Parchment, which is now owned by Instructure, which is the company that does Canvas. So these badges are integrated within Canvas. Another great thing is that this whole platform is not commonly used at secondary schools. It's usually used at post-secondary education institutions. So when students leave us, there's a decent chance that they can take these badges with them. On top of that, they can access them through the Parchment platform. They can create their own kind of filter and collections that they can add onto a LinkedIn profile so that they can then share that with prospective employers, put those on a resume, so they can show that it's not just that they've taken a couple of courses, but that they've developed some of the skills that they'll need to be successful in the working world. So right now, our launch is just through the early college program, but you'll see on the left-hand, nope, maybe not, it's coming up later. I'll save that for later. But we're really excited about it. The launch has gone relatively smoothly, considering that this is our first go-around with this. But we're excited to continue building with it, and I'll speak to that a little bit more in a second. So we also wanted to talk a little bit about how the academies have impacted school culture. And you'll see that I've included a few quotes on there from some of our students. And I over the course of the week, I interviewed, I don't know, probably 20 or 25 different students. And I tried to avoid the students that, are going to come up and give you the great news. And like, oh my God, it's fantastic. I can't believe you've done it. I've targeted the students that kind of just come to school, they do their thing, they want to be ignored, but we engage them anyway. And these are still the great things that they said, right? That school spirit has gone up because more people are getting involved, that it's helping them learn about careers they wouldn't have known about, that they like that it's putting students in groups with other students that they wouldn't normally interact with. But I also heard from a lot of students that we can do more with this academy platform, and that in some cases they feel that they don't see it enough, that they see it here in symposium, they see it with some of the guest speakers, but that we could really integrate it into our core classes so that they're seeing it on a daily basis and they feel it a little bit more than once a week or once a month. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our students to have them share their experience as well.
So through the academies, I've seen a noticeable increase in school spirit thanks to the efforts of ASB, Mr. Van and Mr. Hinchliff. The activities they've organized have brought more students together and encouraging participation in games and friendly competitions during our academy classes. One of the things students enjoy most is the chance to compete against each other. As you can see, there's law and leadership and medical sciences. Those two are like kind of rivals. As you can see, Law and Leadership is winning. That's us. And we have a lot of fun competing against each other. It creates excitement, builds connections, and makes school feel more engaging and fun for everyone involved. Thank you.
Here on the right, you see that there's the leadership board where it tells you who's in the lead. We have this up actually on a TV in our forum where kids can walk down the stairs and see, oh, who's in leadership, who's winning, like how are we comparing. And it's actually really great talking about our academies, because I've never experienced having an academy, and I feel like it just bonds us together a lot more, which is on the next slide a little bit. I'm also an ASB member, so we do plan the monthly academies, and I think it's great because we get to choose from juniors planning it, from seniors planning one, sophomores, freshmen, which gives a variety of ideas to not just, oh, we think it's cooler if juniors do bigger things, but we also have the opinions of our freshmen, thinking what would be cool for freshmen to be involved in, juniors, seniors, as well as putting freshmen against seniors, or seniors against juniors, or sophomores against seniors, just a variety of getting to connect with upperclassmen, lowerclassmen, and being more involved. We do a lot of the fun games to connect people and actually bring them together. And even around school spirit, you'll see them like wanting to wear their academy shirts to show off which academy they're in, and even just thanking everyone, oh, this was really fun, thank you. I want to be in law leadership next year. I want to be in medical science. It was more fun learning about this and getting to understand why we have these academies put in place.
So I just want to really reiterate how amazing our students have just embraced this whole model. And it's not just our students that are catching interest here. So you'll see two images on the left-hand side. We actually had our ambassadors here in this very room just a couple weeks ago. Our district's participating in the Learner-Centered Collaborative's efforts to implement micro school programs. So we're working alongside LCC and half a dozen other districts from across Southern California. And so we were actually able to bring in our academy ambassadors, have them serve as panelists to all of these different school districts, field questions from the LCC professionals, and really explain how this micro school model has really transformed BHS. And then after the panel, they actually broke it off into different tables with each of those districts for Q&A sessions and iterative feedback cycle. So it was just really compelling to know that not only is our academies inspiring our students, but it's also inspiring other districts beyond just Bonsall.
And the other two pictures, I think the top right one we saw in Dr. Gawley's presentation, but we've been able to send our ambassadors, our academy ambassadors, out to the elementary schools for kind of interactive events. The top one there was the Bonsall West Career Day. They also got to go to the Bonsall West Leader in Me celebration. And then the bottom one in the middle is from Bonsall Elementary's Leader in Me ceremony as well. So we're trying to get our students out as much as we can as well. One of the other great aspects that we've been able to develop within the academies, and this is primarily through symposium, but is bringing in guest speakers from dozens of different industries. This year we've had over 50. So you can see just a handful of the pictures. We had mechanical engineers, we had a handyman, a studio artist, a 2D studio artist, a 3D studio artist. You see a picture of Dr. Dombrowski down in the bottom left-hand corner. We had representatives from North County Fire, from the one in the bottom left-hand corner was a glassblower. And we have one more coming up in May. We have a broadcast journalist coming from CBS 8. We have an automotive technician, an HVAC technician. So I'm trying to jump around as much as possible. So we're hitting both the trades, things that you need advanced degrees for. But the students they've really responded positively to this. And it's also been a great opportunity for me to bring some alumni back. This top middle one is actually Jack Costa, Mr. Costa's son. We had a couple of alumni, Adam Porras and Michaela Heinley, who are in landscaping and wedding planning. So it was a great opportunity to see them and then for them to kind of give back to their school as well. On top of that, we've gotten our students out on a number of different work-based learning field trips. All of these pictures are from a number of different trips to the Cal State San Marcos Innovation Hub. We had one for each of our academies, a photography-focused one, a robotics-focused one for our computer science and engineering. I don't believe I have one from our medical science field trip. And then the bottom one from our lawn leadership field trip that I'm going to have Audrina speak about in just a moment. But on top of that, we've had a number of college field trips. Mr. Hinchliff took our arts and media and lawn leadership students out to Palomar College to take a tour of some of the lawn leadership and arts and media focused facilities that they have there. So it was really great opportunities for our students to get outside the school and see some of this stuff in action. Let me pass it over to Audrina.
So I had attended the Innovation Hub during the lawn leadership one, and it was great. They had an officer come in that actually just does security around the campus now, talk about his past time doing where he had lived and how he was a police officer and moving from different states to do what he loved to do. And it was great. He asked many questions. He gave an opportunity telling us about an Explorer Academy to become young policemen, learning to do all these things that they know how to do just as little children, and giving you the advancementship that like, oh, I've done this, I've been able to experience this new experience, and talking to these people, as well as bringing in one of the students from the college talking about a leadership opportunity he came with, and greeting a lot of people and making up a lot of opportunities to connect with the community, which was really great. It got most of the kids talking and connecting, even kids you may not have even been friends with. It was good to get their knowledge, and brought extra students as well to sit at each table and just ask them freely how college is going for them, how it is being a leader and going through these classes. Was really great, and understanding like if you wanted to go into college, how it would feel like, and it was great to understand and talk with someone who knows the knowledge of it.
And that brings us to our coming soon. So on the left, you'll see, this is actually kind of just a screenshot of the back end of the Parchment platform. You'll see that we have 4 different what we call issuers there. There's Bonsall High School, Bonsall Athletics, Bonsall Student Life, and then the Bonsall High School Early College Program. As I mentioned earlier, the pilot that we launched this spring was primarily through the early college program, and what we're going to be working over the rest of this spring with the staff is developing badges for skills, for achievements, for certifications that will be that students will have access to at Bonsall High School, whether that is through our classes or even something like a student getting their driver's license, right? In the Bonsall High School issuer, Bonsall Athletics for our sports program, for our PE program, if a student sets a weightlifting record, right? In Student Life, we're looking at how ASB can utilize these badges. But I should mention that we really want to make sure that these badges don't become like digital stickers, right? That they're actually something that shows the student that they're learning skills that are important for their future, and that they can show those skills to, like I said, employers or colleges. And then on the right-hand side is a little video of our example portfolio that the students, that I put together, but similar to what the students will be putting together and presenting, currently scheduled for Thursday, April 23rd from 2:30 to 3:45. You're officially invited. I know there's a lot going on that day, as I heard earlier, but this will be a gallery walk format where the entire student body will have their portfolios set up in a Google site that they'll have it open so anybody can come up, listen to their presentation. It's structured around our learner profile, so students are selecting artifacts from their classes that represent their growth in each of those learner profile categories. There's a section for them to show their goals, their community service, their awards and achievement. And the great thing about using a Google site is that it's easy for this to be built upon. So as a 9th grade, you'll have your 9th grade section. You just add another section for 10th grade and for 11th grade and 12th grade. And they can really show each year they do these presentations that they're growing in these areas, and they're actually they can show their success there. And that's it. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, we'd love to field those.
I love the quote that you incorporated, especially based on the board reports. Great presentation. Thank you, students, for the lending your voices to that. I'm really excited to see everything being developed.
I should also mention that I am working with Dr. Gawley on scheduling that visit for you, Mr. Gaddis and Dr. Dombrowski.
Well, I just want to say one thing. I just want to say one thing before you guys go. The one thing that really stood out to me is one thing I'm really big on is public service and giving back, right? Because, you know, everybody's situation is different in the world, and we don't know what kind of resources they have or what kind of resources they don't have. We don't know what people are dealing with at home and what they're not dealing with. But one thing I heard was, I think you said that you had, as part of your child development, that you went and helped at Vivian Banks and you helped somebody, I can't remember, was it a read or whatever it might be. Yeah, to math, yeah, and I think that's commendable, and I think that is, you know, one thing that I have been proposing for many years is a tutoring program, right? You know, where our older students help our younger students. We all pull each other up, right? That's how I you know, envision it. And what you said was almost exactly what I had been conceptualizing. So that really stood with me. So I commend you on that. That's what I want to say.
Great job, guys. And Abby, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you until I heard your name, and I go, oh. So really sounds like a great program. Really impressed. I knew when it started out, it was like, I don't know if this is going to work. And then what you guys have done with it has been just incredible. And I think that just really shows how well you guys are actually putting your efforts into it, because it doesn't work without good leadership and stuff. So thank you all for everything you're doing.
Wonderful. We look forward to seeing the evolution continue. Excuse me. That brings us to our action items for the evening. Action item 9.1. This is the tentative agreement between Bonsall Unified School District and our Bonsall Teachers Association for the collective bargaining agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Bringing us to action item 9.2, the approval of the 2026-27 school and instructional calendar. Is there anybody here to speak on that topic?
Well, I have a comment on it. You know, I'm on the fence about this, and I was on the fence about it before I came in here. I, you know, was inquiring whether we had thought about it thoroughly, whether it had been really examined. You know, I got numerous emails from parents, which was the thing that initiated my concern. And then now hearing the Bonsall Teachers Association express their opinion, the CSEA express their position, and a student express their position, it really makes me question whether that we really have this thought through the way we need it to. So, you know, I'm extremely skeptical at this point about it.
Mr. Williams, do you have some information that you're going to present today on this topic for us?
I do. Great. Yeah, so I do just want to start by saying I appreciate all the comments that we've heard already this evening from BTA, CSCA, and certainly our student representative, and also from the board as well. I do want to take you through a presentation here, or an update I should call it, and just to talk through some of the items that we've heard about this evening. But just first and foremost, the purpose of this update is to provide background and rationale for the proposed 26-27 school and staff calendar. The key change that we've heard about this evening is the shift of the weekly early release day, professional development and collaboration time from Friday to Thursday beginning in 26 and 27. Just a little bit of the background. The weekly early release exists to provide dedicated time for professional learning, collaborative planning, instructional improvement, and student support coordination. In 22-23, the district did move the weekly early release day from Thursday to Friday to support the launch of the early college program at Bonsall High School. There was a belief at the time, and has proven to be true to some extent, although there has been some changes that we needed to make this adjustment, because historically the PD day had been, early release day had been on Thursday, but we believe that we needed to shift this to Friday in order to accommodate the college schedule. So if there was classes Tuesday and Thursday where the vast majority of classes were at, we could easily accommodate. If there was Monday, Wednesday that came up, we could also accommodate that as well. But after several years of implementation and evaluation, the district leadership has reviewed whether Friday remains the most effective day for the entire district. So this has been considered for some time. And I did want to speak to this a bit, the development and the required process for the calendar. So the early release day is governed by the collective bargaining agreement. In fact, and I just wanted to point out some language here in Article 3 within definitions. It does read, early release day is defined as the day that ends 90 minutes prior to normal student dismissal time. The specific day shall be bargained with BTA in the spring prior to implementation. There's no such clause within the CSEA, CBA, but there is in this BTA article. So during negotiations, we did arrive at a negotiated agreement that we would move the Friday PD day from Friday to Thursday starting 2026, 2027. So that was arrived at during negotiations. That's really the thing that needed to be negotiated, and it was. In fact, that held up our calendar committee that came together a couple times. We needed to have that settled first before we could go into the calendar committee. The calendar committee is composed of BTA representatives, CSEA representatives, site and district administration. Also, we had someone there from business services as well, a confidential employee who does payroll and benefits, and the calendar situation is very important to her too, because she counts those days and so on. So we had a team there that did come to consensus around the calendar. These are the days for, like, one thing we heard this evening was about when this spring break lands. Now, historically in our district, it has moved around the holiday, the Easter holiday. But we came to consensus during the calendar committee to land every holiday where we determined it to be so, according to just our national and state holidays, etc. So we did go through a very significant process with quite a bit of investment in that process from everybody at the table. So I just want to reiterate that we didn't make that determination about the PD day in the calendar committee. We made that decision in negotiations with BTA because we were compelled to do so. We had to do it according to Article 3 of the definitions. So the key considerations is the district has a responsibility to ensure staff collaboration and PD time is meaningful and high impact. And we have made that commitment, and we'll continue to make that commitment as we move forward. And the goal is to maximize the utilization of time without students for professional development. We know that we're sending students home early on this specific day, and so we want to ensure that we maximize this time that we have without students to do the things we wouldn't ordinarily be able to do with students on campus. Friday afternoon and professional development. It's important to point out that relative to Monday and Friday, staff attendance patterns are stronger on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It might be like that in most districts. Shoot, it might be like that in most organizations, but Monday and Friday are days that we would shy away from wanting more midweek days. And Thursday, the district even had an inclination to make it on Wednesday, but in conversations, Thursday had been the historic day. It seemed like a natural fit to go back to Thursday and not change it to Wednesday. So It's also, this may have come up about outside presenters. It is difficult to schedule people for Friday afternoons. So when we do any kind of like a presentation on curriculum or a workshop or bring in county folks, when we say we need you to come in on Friday afternoon, it is very challenging for another organization to make a commitment on Friday afternoons for whatever the reason may be, it is. Additionally, the district loses approximately 6 collaboration professional development days per year due to a certificated staff leaving at safe dismissal on days preceding Monday holidays. So we lost a considerable amount of PD days because the contract, which the district has agreed to and honors in Article 12.3, says that when the kids go home early on a Friday, after they're all safely dismissed, staff also goes home as well. These would be our teaching staff, that is. So we lose out on those days. So this is advantageous to move this back to Thursday for this reason as well. So the early college program, this came up, and it's a very thoughtful input from our student board member. Thank you so much. The high school is very aware of this, and you just saw in the presentation preceding me that early college is critical to the success of Bonsall High School. So we absolutely know that. We value all the investment that's been placed into early college. Principal James, as well as the site, has come up with a plan together collaboratively to have block schedule on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday so that we could accommodate anything that a community college threw at us. So we could have a Monday, Wednesday. We could also have a Tuesday, Thursday. Friday will be the day where students will meet with all of their teachers. It will be the non-block schedule. One of the reasons we were able to do this is because we reduced our block schedule class to 90 minutes because it is currently 1 hour and 45 minutes. Thank you for that help. So in doing that, that allowed us to make Thursday a block schedule too. And so there won't be interruption, and it's a very valid concern if the schedule was as it is this year. We're going to need to change that. And I just want to stress this too. Principal James has done a wonderful job working with all of the teachers at our site, and especially her leadership team, to make this land to where we can, without interruption, continue with early college. So I want to acknowledge this, is that this is about 4 months lead time for families. And I, being a family person myself, I know that any kind of adjustment like this, people are going to have to make adjustments as well. And so there could be issues with childcare and transportation and weekly routines. And we made this change in 22-23. And we've compelled people to have to make this change. And I get that people may be used to a pattern. But I think also it's important to say that the instructional quality program effectiveness and stewardship of time must be balanced with this family convenience. And maybe family convenience is the wrong word. Maybe it's that this is a fit for families right now and they're going to have to make an adjustment. I just want to say before the board, we acknowledge that. We know this is no small matter for some families, and there will need to be a change with some of their patterns of pickup. So the conclusion here, the proposed calendar reflects a thoughtful, comprehensive review of educational, operational, contractual, and programmatic factors. This has taken a lot of work, and a lot of resources has been poured into this at the table with multiple stakeholders. And here's what we believe Thursday will do for us: preserve more usable collaboration time, especially that we've lost 2 days in the agreement that you just approved for the number of work days for our certificated staff. We won't have PD days, so we'll go from 4 to 2. We'll reduce avoidable loss of professional development days, as I mentioned prior. will provide a stronger window for higher quality professional learning. As I mentioned, we do lose out on some of our support from outside entities. We're going to easily be able to maintain the early college program, and then it will better align with the intended purpose of early release time. So our recommendation, as it states in the board item, is to adopt the proposed 26-27 school and staff calendars, which does include the shift of weekly early release from Friday to Thursday. And I think this too is that the calendar, we need to take this to the next level. We're making a solid commitment that we create by the end of this school year the 27-28 calendar and the 28-29 calendar. I'm conscientious of the board. I'm conscientious of our community. We need to do a better job of giving a longer schedule for people to look at and to know that this is going to land. So that's the update I wanted to give you, but there may be some questions, so stay.
I have some questions. So what I hear what you're saying, and I hear it, but what you say is in direct contradiction to BTA president, that they agreed to it, but it was a reluctant agreement, and they expressed their displeasure with it. I think that you guys did the negotiations, in my opinion, from a district lens. I don't think you did a balancing of interests of parents and teachers and students. I don't think you did that. At least that's my opinion. I think that you primarily looked at it, and I understand why you think it's in the right decision, and I understand that you're predicating your decision a lot based on the fact that, well, we switched it in 2022, so we should be able to do it again. But I'm not 100% confident that it's going to make a difference whether it's on Thursday or Friday. I know the main argument that you have there is it's harder to get people in there. That's your main argument, because you should be able to do professional development on any day because everybody's technically supposed to be there, supposed to be at school anyway. So that's your main argument, is that, well, we don't get outside people and it's a little bit more challenging to do that. But is that when you're doing your cost benefit analysis of switching it, is that enough to disrupt all the parents and everything? And I'm, in my opinion, because I have to, for me sitting in this chair, I have to weigh everything. And 99% of the time I'm in agreement with you guys. Most of the time I do. This one I'm not. I'm not sure if that it was as thoroughly thought out as what it said, because I heard so many people speak on it, not just parents. I had BTA. I mean, it seems the students. So there's a lot of concern about this. So that's my issue.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for Mr. Williams? Comments? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you for the presentation, and I know this is a controversial topic, and I appreciate your looking forward to create those calendars well in advance instead of just a few months before the next school years. That brings us to our action item 9.3. This is the approval of a floating vacation day memorandum of understanding between CSEA and BUSD. We heard a reference to it earlier today in our report.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to action item 9.4. This is the fiscal year 2026-27 annual resolutions authorizing designated agents.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to resolution 26, action item 9.5. This is resolution 26-04-05. Approving in connection with a proposed community facilities district, a memorandum of understanding with the Bonsall Unified School District, Rainbow Municipal Water District Joint Powers Financing Authority, the Rainbow Municipal Water District, and Neighborhoods of Verdot at the Havens, LLC, and Joint Community Facilities Agreement with the Bonsall Unified School District, Rainbow Municipal Water District Joint Powers Financing Authority and approving related documents and actions. Is there, I see we have a guest in our audience. Are you looking to speak or come up and answer questions? Why don't you come up and answer if there's questions? So one of the things that this is looking to do is to, actually, well, next step is to actually appoint the 2 directors, but this is actually to, we had our first read of this last month, and this is to move forward with the CFD. Anybody have any questions before we bring it to the table?
No question. I think we've been through this enough times.
Indeed. So I'll go ahead and motion to approve this. I think it's been a long time coming, and I'm excited.
I'll second it.
Collaboration. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And then building upon that is action item 9.6. In the structure of that JPA, it is the direction of the agencies to provide 2 directors to the board of directors, 2 directors from each agency. So 2 from the school district, 2 from the water district. And it is proposed that it would be the superintendent of the school and the general manager of the water district, as well as 1 board member from each of the boards. So given that, is there anybody who's interested in being that director?
I'll do it. If elected.
I know I said I could do it as well. Is there anybody else that's interested in this?
Because I'd be glad to give it up.
Go ahead. I know that Mr. Burchett and I have been on the facilities subcommittee meeting, so either of us would be appropriate members given our additional facilities background with moving forward.
I say Roger doesn't volunteer, so I'd say give it to him. He doesn't volunteer that much.
So, is there a formal motion to approve Mr. Burchett?
I'll motion it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I guess I have to vote.
So,
I say no.
Too late.
thank you for volunteering. Is there anything else that we should be discussing and or approving as it relates to this?
When do they meet?
Oh, I mentioned that it was, but I'll motion that also we will appoint our superintendent as that other representative for this CFD.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
When do they meet?
What's that?
When do they meet?
First Wednesday, I think,
From 4 to 5, right? Yes. And if for some reason, Mr. Burchett, you're unable to attend a meeting, I'm happy to fill in your stead.
Do we need a vote? We need to put that in writing.
I don't think necessarily have to do that. Is there anything else that you need from the board as it relates to this topic?
No, thank you for the discussions. We'll work with staff on the next steps and bring updates back to the board.
No.
I have a question regarding the, I know that there was some at Bonsall Oaks / the Havens, moving forward with the CFD from their perspective. Can you provide a little bit more update as to where we're at with that being formalized?
Absolutely. In fact, we have recent updates from the developer of this particular development. They have requested to proceed with the CFD formation as soon as the JPA board and the board of directors are all appointed. So right now our schedule calls for the May JPA meeting to approve the documents that are in front of you and will be in front of the water districts at the end of April. And starting in June, we will start the CFD formation process. And generally speaking, it takes 3 JPA meetings from a 90 to 120 day time frame to complete the CFD formation.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Any other questions? No? All right. Well, we'll see you soon and looking forward to updates and having this be formalized.
Thank you.
We're going to skip 9.7 as discussed when we approved the agenda for the evening. 9.8, this is the service agreement between Bonsall Unified School District and the San Diego County Office of Education to implement Project Alert at Sullivan Middle School for the 2026-27 year.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to action item 9.9. This is the Expanded Learning Management Basic Tool Service Agreement between Vivian Banks Charter School and Six Crickets.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to action item 9.10. This is the agreement between Bonsall Unified School District and Seaside Interpreting LLC.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Then bringing us to action item 9.11. This is the agreement for participation in the San Diego County Career Technical Education, CTE program for, am I not talking loud enough? Sorry, I'm sorry for not seeing you flag me across.
We have to do it all over again? Oh, man.
See, I gave blood earlier today. I'm a little woozy, so apologies for not speaking with more vim and vigor. 9/11, this is the agreement for participation in the San Diego County Career Technical Education, CTE program for school year 2024-25.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is that the correct year? So let's clarify, what year is it that we are officially approving?
Yes, it's for the 26-27 school year.
Okay.
Oh,
So I'm going to,
didn't catch that.
So just to make a correction, it's actually a 5-year agreement, starting with next year. Yes, thank you.
thank you. So we're going to revote on this item with the correct years. So this is for CTA. It's a 5-year agreement starting this year's, so going from 2025 through 2030.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Again.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Bringing us to action item 9.12. This is the ratification agreement between Emergis Healthcare Staffing and Bonsall Unified School District.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And this brings us to our final action item, lucky number 13, the increase of the original agreement with Tau Rossini, a professional corporation to provide legal services to Bonsall Unified School District.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I'm very excited to see the enthusiasm to make sure we conclude our business effectively this evening as a governing board. Bringing us to our public comment for the evening. Do we have any speaker slips, Ms. McInerney? We do not, which means that as it relates to future planning, for those that are interested in our facilities, as was discussed by Ms. Caroline Brown, we have 2 facilities workshops coming up on the 14th, which is next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. And was it the 23rd for yours?
Yeah, 23rd.
The 23rd at 6 p.m. And the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Bonsall Unified School District Board of Trustees is for Thursday, May 14th. With perhaps an open session as it relates to the facilities workshop before we actually have our typical closed session at 4:30. And with that, we will be adjourned at 9:07 p.m. Thank you all for hanging out to the bitter end.
A clarification, that time for the next meeting is going to be 3:45?
They don't know for sure yet. It might
Okay.
be